What is up, people? Anybody here? Anybody around? Am I getting sound? Let's go ahead and take a double check here. It looks okay. Looks like we're getting sound. Are we getting decent sound? I didn't have enough time to do all these checks here, so you see going around a 10 there. So far, it looks like we're doing pretty good. Looks like it is going pretty good here. So anyways, what's up, people? Boy, did William have a barn burner over there. Hey, what's up, AZ Mick? William had a little bit of a barn burner over there, didn't he? Pretty crazy. I tried to follow some of it. I mean, hey, Paulina, what's up? I tried following some of it. I couldn't really, I was like getting kind of confused there. I think I kind of understand what his point was that he was trying to make, but I was having trouble following it. It was getting kind of convoluted to me, I think, in the way it was being represented, but who knows? What do I know? I know something about maybe that he got doxxed or something of that sort. But, hey, what is up, Fox Guy? What I'm thinking is, I know that he was like, saying that he got doxxed or something of that sort, and I think he was trying to blame it on, I won't, spread the drama and like say the names of the people involved, but he was trying to, put it on someone that he thinks did it. But the thing is, in the vinyl community, it's like, it's pretty easy to get doxxed, I think, because all of us, like I was saying, I had made a point in the chat, and I don't know if anybody, agreed with me or not. I think Jen had kind of agreed with me, B-sides, but we all send each other VCLT all the time. All of us send each other records, cassettes, CDs, whatever. So, our addresses are out there. But the thing that I was trying to express to him, what I was trying to explain to William, which is hard to do in a peanut gallery, is I was trying to say, it's like, but we're not that type of community. It's like, what's really going to happen if people know your address? It's like, we're not one of those, people that's going to turn around, we're going to like try and, swatch you or some shit like that, so. Dusty, I got Zombie Dust. Perfect 100 score on the Beer Advocate. Nice. Tonight I am not drinking. Tonight I am just having a cold Pepsi. So, I'm keeping it clean tonight. Actually, that's not clean. It's, some people would say that's a whole lot of fucking diabetes, so, but yeah, I'm just having a regular Pepsi. So, anyways, but like I said, we were over there, we were in the stream, and I was kind of like in the peanut gallery, and then, of course, Groovy Lisa showed up, and, I just kind of blamed it on her. I said, come on, Lisa, just go ahead and come clean. Every time something goes wrong, we know it's you. So, anyways, but let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and put out some of these. Actually, let me go ahead and send these out. Hold on a moment. Bear with me, people. I'm going to go ahead and send the links to the besties. Okay, here we go. And there is a link for you guys. And then let's see. Let's send one to Mr. Timothy Allen. I don't know if he's going to be checking, but I have sent one to Gento. There we go. It's my fake accent. That's the reason I was never an actor, so. So anyways, where's Mason to give his review on the Beach Boys Disney doc? You know that I have still not watched it myself. I still need to watch that documentary. I was going to watch it the other night. I sat down, got myself a beer, put my feet up, was going to watch it. And I think I got into something else. I forgot what else happened that evening because I turned around and like faded off into some other rabbit hole, which I end up doing most of the time. I'll end up going on YouTube and I'll end up in a freaking rabbit hole or some shit. Next thing you know, I'm looking up like Brazilian weaving by chicks with big butts or something. I don't know. You never know. You already know how the freaking YouTube rabbit holes can go. But yeah, it's been pretty quiet. I think lately it seems like for the VC, it seems like it's been pretty quiet. I don't know. Like I said, I'm always out there. I'm out there lurking and watching and stuff, Don't always interact all the time. Don't really feel like my interactions like, that necessary. So, Fox Guy, I heard it's lame, 90 minutes. I had heard it was good. I guess it depends. Paulina said she thought it was really, really good. So, but I don't know if that's because, she's a true Beach Boys fan, because would it hold the attention of someone who's a casual Beach Boys fan? Or maybe even someone who's not a Beach Boys fan, would it hold their attention? I don't know. I'm assuming, but Fox Guy, though, you're a Beach Boys fan. You know the Beach Boys. You like the Beach Boys. I'm assuming. Hey, Belle, what is happening? Welcome to the room. Hopefully, maybe we'll end up having Lisa and we will have Paulina up. Hopefully, they'll end up coming up also. So we could do what we usually do. We end up doing a live stream, which is like discuss absolutely nothing. So, Fox Guy said, I heard they use AI and fake voices. Fake voices and AI for who? I mean, what is Brian Wilson not able to talk? I mean, I don't know what his condition is nowadays, but they reunited the boys and didn't use any footage. That's gotta suck. That has gotta suck, man. So they got them all together and they didn't get any footage. What is up, Paulina?
Hey.
Welcome. Says they got all the boys together and they didn't get any footage, but did they get?
And his name is John Stamos!
Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to.
Was John Stamos there?
Well, here's my take on that whole documentary. It's like, yes, it was great, but I felt like they also fell short on some things because they spent so much time on the 60s when in fact there was like a lot of other things they could have covered throughout the 70s and 80s and 90s. We talked about this on Keto Tools thing on Talk More Talk.
Okay.
And we did agree, like, there's like a lot of things that they never touched on, like, the demo sessions before they signed Capitol, the times when they're like in the 80s that they were really getting into like soundtracks, like, they did something for Weapon, they did something for True Beverly Hills, and of course, they didn't touch on Kokomo. There's no mention of Kokomo throughout the whole damn thing.
No mention of Kokomo?
Not
Lisa.
No mention of Kokomo, but it was played during the credits.
Ooh.
Which is weird that they shoved it all the way over there to the credits.
So you mean it's not in the movie Cocktail?
Well, it's not in the movie.
No, we're talking about the documentary.
Oh.
That documentary that came out on Disney Plus. They didn't mention.
I don't even have Disney Plus, but maybe I'll buy it.
There you go. Maybe I gotta lend you my link or something there, Lisa. I'll lend you my link so you can go ahead and log in. But introducing this.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys.
Lisa's here.
I mean, did you see William's stream today? I was watching that comment a little. William is getting too invested.
I was watching it. I mean, I understand that he's got a beef, I guess.
With Mark Glassman.
I mean, the thing is, I don't want to go ahead and poke at him and shit. 'Cause I know how he can get. But I wasn't convinced because this is my opinion of Mark Glassman. Mark Glassman, I've seen him say some shit in the past. But the thing is that I have never known him to go after people.
No.
It's very out of character. So, I mean, myself personally, I don't believe it. I don't really believe it's him. Do I believe he's got something's going on to have something's happened to William? Yeah,
probably,
but I don't think
Mark's not gonna do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, what is up? Speaking of Vinyl Gorilla Records, we were talking about you, Fred. We were saying that at one time, a year or two ago, every time there was a channel nobody knew who it was, they would be like, it's Dobbs. And now you kind of lost that title. Every time there's a weird channel, people are like, it's William.
Nah, the thing about it is, I was just watching his stream and I was
hey, what's up, Vinyl Kicks?
Hey, Kicks.
Vinyl Gorilla Records says it's definitely Mark Glassman.
Okay.
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. I mean, and I'm not trying to play it safe here. I really don't know a whole lot about the guy.
No,
I just know him as being. I just know about him being someone over in RG's in Rachel's peanut gallery.
My hair is sticking out.
Fred's all William took the crown. I mean, if he can end up proving it out and stuff like that, yeah. I mean, most definitely. I mean, good for him. Most definitely. Like I said, I'm just saying from my own opinion. It's like I don't know anything about these people.
I don't like Kokomo. Kokomo is a horrible song. I stand by that.
Kokomo's it's a horrible song.
There's better Beach Boys songs. Like God only knows. Wouldn't it be nice? Kokomo's horrible. Kokomo is horrible.
Lisa's like, oh, where's Mason been? He's been laying low during this whole freaking Beach Boy shit. That's like unusual for him. This is his time to shine. Where's he been?
He got recommended for my friends list, and I didn't add him, but he got recommended along with James McCartney again.
I think I've already got him as a friend already because I know that I've got him on Messenger. I mean, he
No.
messages me from time to time.
I mean, he's not friends with me, but they recommended him for me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What
Mel.
album is God Only Knows on? That's on what? Pet Sounds?
Sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pet Sounds, definitely.
I also like I Get Around, and I like that song Surfer Girl. That's a good one. They got a lot of good songs.
Yeah, after we did that Apple Top 100 or the best 100 albums and stuff, I noticed that everybody started doing videos of that shit.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, our video
And
did
when
not do as good as
I
others.
found out what Puberty is, I think their name is Puberty, or is that the band? Or
Burial.
no, what was the? I found out what they were. They are a UK dubstep kind of house band from 2007.
Okay, yeah, their name was Burial, not Puberty. Where's your mind at, Lisa?
No, there's a band called Puberty.
Okay, but I think that band was, or was that album called Puberty?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't even
Isn't
remember.
there?
I
I
don't
don't know.
even remember.
There's like an album cover called Puberty, and that's like two people on the cover. And indie people, correct me. I'm not very hipster.
Okay, Vinyl Gorilla said, I need Pet Sounds. Some people will end up telling you get the mono version. I mean, because there's people who are very pro mono.
Yeah, me, when I bought Pet Sounds, I just bought a reissue because I just wanted it in my collection. And, getting an OG was kind of out of the question for me. So I just went to Amoeba and I bought a reissue for like $25, and I was done.
I have an OG, but mine's like, it's a stereo one. So
yeah, OG copies are hard to come by at a good
Oh
time.
well, if you're no original stereo Dusty, then it's not an actual stereo mix. It's actually a duophonic mix, which is they tried to take the mono version, but they put it in two different speakers so that it sounds like a stereo, but it's actually just two mono tracks.
Speaking of lists, did you see the Spin Magazine list for Beach Boys' top albums?
No.
Spin Magazine did a ranking.
Shall we look this up?
Yeah,
Shall we
you should
take a
look
look
it up.
at it? Okay, let's go take a look. I mean, I'm not.
There were some songs that the Beach Boys did in the 80s that I really liked. The one that I really loved was it came out in the movie True Beverly Hills, and it's the song called "Make It Big." That is a really great song. I every time I hear that song, it takes me back to watching True Beverly Hills. That was the one with Shelley Duvall and Craig T. Nelson, and you also had Jennifer Morrison in it, and
I've seen that movie.
Keith Marin came out in it. Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello came out in that movie as well, and that movie was also like one of the first movies that Carla Gugino did before she did movies like Lisa Frankenstein and San Andreas and all this kind of stuff.
The Beach Boys actually posted
What is
about
up,
this.
Charlie?
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
To be perfectly honest, I mean, this is going to be probably mostly you and Paulina, Lisa, because I really am not very well acquainted with the Beach Boys.
Okay, well, yeah.
It's like I really don't know too much, so it's saying here, number 30, Stars and Stripes Volume 1.
Yeah,
it was terrible. I didn't like it.
Terrible.
But it doesn't say this is Stars and Stripes Volume 1 trades in the magnificence of the past like a snapshot of some pristine, awe-inspiring and sculpture sold as a key ring in a gift shop, comprising country covers of tracks including Caroline No and Don't Worry Baby.
No.
Oh, okay, Don't Worry Baby. I know that song. This era, the Beach Boys recalls that bit in Ratatouille where the image of legendary chief Auguste Cousteau is used to sell fast food of various cuisines. We're inventing new ways to sell out over here. This album's only value is to remind you how good the band once were.
Yeah. That's,
hey,
what?
Jim.
I am far up the Beach Boys.
But it wasn't a great album. Summer in Paradise, that was a shitty album.
Yeah.
That was the one that's the one that gave out that song, Summer of Love, because
No, don't sing it. Don't sing it.
I'm not gonna sing it.
Thank God. Mike Love in that video. I just wanted to punch him.
And that's the album that you'll also will find John Stamos singing that Forever song from
Forever.
his name is John Stamos.
But anyway.
Okay. So far, this list has got it right. Still cruising.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm not.
So
even
basically, what you're gonna say is all '90s Beach Boys. Is
Okay.
crap.
I have
Okay.
because I don't think Lisa really knows what Still Cruising is. Because Still Cruising came out in '89, and it was mainly a compilation of stuff that was they were doing at the time. Because there's a song called Still Cruising that they gave to Lethal Weapon. There was like another song on that one. That's the where you're fine, make it big. But I do admit it is like a terrible album because that's where you're gonna find the Beach Boys teaming up with the Fat Boys and Wipeout.
Hey, hello. The VC
Ew.
told me about this album. I went on Spotify and I listened to it. Okay, I listened to it in its entirety. I did my due diligent work about
the only
Still
good
Cruising.
tracks that was on that was Still Cruising, Kokomo, Somewhere Near Japan, Make It Big, and In My Car.
Look,
In My Car is a great track. I like it.
There was a time when Mason played every Beach Boys album, Paulina, so I've heard them all. Yeah. Mason was on a kick, and he played every album in true autistic fashion. I heard every Beach Boys album because Mason was like, you need to hear him, Lisa.
Okay, John Stamos and reimagining does not sound good in the same sentence.
No.
Okay, so it says here, John Stamos reimagines Dennis Wilson's lilting masterpiece, Forever, as an Aerosmith B-side, Summer of Love. Okay. Oh, wait, no. He redid Forever, and I guess Aerosmith B-side Summer of Love. Okay, blah.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, Still Cruising. You guys have already discussed that. Okay.
Yeah.
Vinyl Kick said Kokomo will forever be a banger. Fred says Stamos seems like a douche from John.
He does.
Noah looked at me and said, we don't get television like this. A grandma banger. Wait.
Grandma's
loves videos?
Grandma loves Still Cruising.
Okay. Let's see. Beach Boys Party. Recorded live at a Beach Boys party. 1965. Damn, that's a hell of a freaking jump. 65 all the way to 89.
Well, it's not that great of a live album, so I can see why it is where it is.
Or is this just their top? Are they taking all the albums and ranking them, or are they just choosing some? Okay.
You're going from the worst to the best. So yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
this one was
so
okay.
The next one will be Beach Boys Party, which I do agree with that placing too, because I was not a fan of them trying to be Beach Boys Unplugged.
Yeah,
that probably could be like the first ever Unplugged album. But I was not a fan of Barbara Ann and their renditions of Beatles songs.
I like the fact that they got a lot of 80s. They got a lot of 80s, lower on the list because I'm not really a big 80s fan of the Beach Boys.
Vinyl Kick said Beach Boys Party is solid, has a great Beatles cover. Vinyl Kick says VJR, what in particular did he do to make him a douche? Talking about John Stamos, he's all the hair kicks.
But it deserves to be at 27 because there's better live albums or better whatever kind of albums by the Beach Boys.
Fred said he's breathing. Basically, he was breathing. There you go.
Yeah. He's got great hair though.
Deserves to be higher. Not great, but not 26. Tell me why it was awesome. Tell me why it was awesome. Okay. Beach Boys 1985. The first time recorded after Dennis Wilson drowned, the Beach Boys follows, keeping the Summer Alive formula of tunes with no idiosyncrasy or fun. Their edges set into a smooth, charmless surface.
Yeah.
I still haven't finished that album, but I think the song that's off of that was "Get You Back," which I do admit it's a really nice song. I liked it.
Well, where's Mason when we need him? Mason would be like, that was an awesome album. Everyone, that was an awesome album. No, that was a really good album. Keeping the Summer Alive, 1980. Even this album's title seems to suggest that the Beach Boys' career, at least as a viable rock group, needed resuscitation, while albums like MIU and LA Light Album have the odd moment of brilliance. Keeping the Summer Alive has nothing of the sort.
I mean, they were trying to keep the summer alive, but unfortunately they didn't.
It was just not working, even though it could have worked around that time when, because that was a time when like yacht rock was like at its height,
Yeah.
And did not.
Unfortunately, they were not keeping the summer alive.
No.
They were going down the boat with that one.
The next one, 15 big ones. Yeah, was not a fan of that.
I
that
actually
album.
bought that album for $5 at Amoeba.
I think this is like one of the ones I own too.
Yeah, I'm like, I bought it and I played it and I was like, God, Lisa, can you get your $5 back? And I realized there is.
Yeah, that's why I refused to buy that album. It was terrible.
I bought it.
It just says one of the rarier installments of the Beach Boys catalog. 15 big ones comprises 7 originals and 8 rock and roll standards. The enjoyably squelchy rock thump of "It's Okay" and the charming attempt at gospel in that same song is not enough to rescue this album from sheer mediocrity.
It also contains the most gut-wrenching, makes me sick to my stomach cover of rock and roll music.
It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. It's totally bad.
Little Juice Coupe. Okay, now this I would figure this one. I know this album, but I figured this album would probably be higher, but guess not. Little Juice Coupe, 1963. Well, Little Juice Coupe is one of the weaker pre-Pet Sounds albums. The title track is still a compact marvel, and there's a nice mixture of scrappy car songs and tender ballads that the same band would release Good Vibrations just 3 years later. Is startling.
I like it. I like the album.
It was more of a compilation album because like some of the songs that was on it had already been released on Surfer Girl about a year earlier. So the only new stuff that was on it was something like Be True to Your Skull, but everything else was just like, rehashing from.
Exactly.
Hey, Dave.
It was more of like a theme album, for people that wanted a album that consists of just car songs,
But I still think it was a decent album. I like it.
It was decent, yeah, but it's merely like a compilation.
Still, it's a decent compilation for people who want to get into the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Surfin' Safari, 1962. The spot where it all began, the Beach Boys' debut album, Surfin' Safari, shows the band still in thrall to the surf boom, but with enough melodic chops to set them apart from their peers. Still, there's plenty of energy here, and Brian secured the right to produce the album, a rarity in those days, especially for a callow 20-year-old. Though Nick Vinay, I'm going to say Vinay, was officially credited as producer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the first album that they did off the bat, and well, I question its placing. I could see why it is because it was like. Because that was like one of 2 albums that Nick Vanette was producing, and so you weren't getting the full kind of Brian Wilson production that you'll be known for. So it was a little bit tamed.
Yeah, but I think it could be a little higher.
It's a good starter album with the songs like Surfin' Safari and. I think 409 was on that one.
Yeah, I love Surfin' Safari. I think it could be a little higher on the list.
There's a song on there that I enjoyed. It was called County Fair. It's enjoyable. Yeah.
Can we just talk about number 21? What?
That's Why God Made the Radio, 2012. Who could have predicted that the Beach Boys would deliver a passable reunion album? The title track has the kind of wistfulness not heard from the group since at least 1979. While the last 2 tracks, Pacific Coast Highway and Summer's Gone, are a poignant way to conclude what is likely the band's final studio LP. That's the Beach Boys for you, confounding until the end.
Now we're getting to the good stuff.
That was a beautiful album. I enjoyed it when it first came out, and plus both of the songs, That's Why God Made the Radio and Isn't It Time, beautiful tracks, and it totally did bring a tear to my eye when they first came out. It was a beautiful album.
Oh, sorry to hear about that.
Oh, so I will check back later. Can't deal with the Beach Boys, my dad's favorite band, but he tried to live his life like he was Mike Love, beard and all.
Yeah.
Maybe even douchier, if possible. And no, he was not a singer. Okay, we'll see when you come back there. We just want to try and get through the list there, Dave. Well, but
yeah.
Did Twisted Sister cover Be True to Your School? Yes, I think it's the same song, isn't it? I'm pretty sure the same songs were Twisted. Yeah. Oh wait, though. Oh, well, that was Be Cruel to Your Skull. Damn it! See, you got me, Fred. Fred's always exposing my ignorance. Okay. Welcome home, son of Dusty. Yeah, he just got home from his little trip. So, there are 2 versions. Kicks. The album version doesn't have the girls in background cheering like the single. You may like that better.
Now we're getting to the good stuff.
It's all good. Okay, here we go.
Now we're getting to the good.
Are you sure it's going to be the good? Do you know? Have you
Yeah.
looked at the list already? The list already. Okay, LA Light Album, 1979,
But
number
I
20.
didn't spoil it. I didn't spoil it for you guys.
In 1979, the slide was in full force, and Dennis's sumptuous Baby Blue and the actually pretty great disco rework of Here Comes the Night was not enough to stop LA Light Album from mediocrity. There's still the muscle memory of how to execute the odd, decent song, Angel Come Home and Love Surrounds Me, are both enjoyable soul cuts, but as ever, we're left wanting more. Oh, and let's not forget Sumahama, Mike's thoughtful Japanese language tribute to his Korean fiancée. That sounds creepy.
That's weird.
That sounds kind of creepy.
When I first heard it, I was like, what the heck, Mike Love? What the heck?
Sumahama, my Asian mama.
It's like when my dad made up a song for my mom, and I was like, Dad, that's weird. My dad's
Okay,
Mike
there
Love.
you go. Ellie album has an awesome song in it. Love Surrounds Me. Dennis Wilson with Christine McVie.
That's a good song. I love
backing
that
vocals.
song.
They were dating at the time. Dennis Wilson was dating Christine McVie at the time. So
Really? I'm like, oh, did Christine McVie get around? Oh my gosh. What is up, Mr. Tim Allen? Just who we need right now in this room. Just who we need.
Hey, Tim.
Right now, we're going over the list that Spin Magazine did. They ranked the Beach Boys albums. Tim's all, oh boy.
Yeah, you're in for a
Oh
doozy.
boy.
Isn't there someone missing? I think there's someone missing from that.
He's probably at work. No.
I know. Mason, he's like, oh, he's going to be like, how did you do it without me, Dusty? Why?
Why?
You murder me. Okay, 19, Surfing USA, 1963. Surfing USA is a group's second album and very much picks up where Surfing Safari left off. The title track is a quintessential Beach Boys single, while Lonely Sea is a glowing forerunner to Till I Die. This album I do know. You know, but, I mean, the thing is, with me, it's like weird because like the Beach Boys is like opposite of the Beatles. With the Beatles, early Beatles not into it, later Beatles into it. Beach Boys, later Beach Boys not into it, earlier Beach Boys into it.
Same,
It's like go the opposite. You know, so it's kind of weird. Yeah, for me, so. Any
like
thoughts on
Surfing
that one,
US.
Tim? Tim's all,
Good
no,
album.
none at all.
I like the Beach Boys till about 67 or 68, then it starts dropping
I
off.
think most of us do too. Although. Comment of the night.
Oh, that is comment of the night. You had to go to the doctor, man. More than 4 hours.
But I do like Sunflower and I do like Holland. I think those are good albums.
I'm not saying they're bad, they're just not.
No, I mean I like them.
That sounds or today or.
No, of course they're not. But I mean, we're talking about albums from the '70s. I do enjoy them.
Mild.
Yeah. Oh, are you gonna go check them out? Okay.
Here,
Okay, no problem.
Next
Here's
is the MIU album,
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Here's
which is the MIU album is more about a meditation institute, which that's what MI stands, Meditation Institute University or something like that.
Oh, shit.
It was mainly a play on what Mike Love was going around at the time.
Yeah.
After Brian was allowed to indulge his creative flights of fancy for the Beach Boys' Love You, this freedom was whisked away from him for the recording of the MIU album, where the group opted for a more radio-friendly feel. Although My Diane, written during the Love You era, is rough-hewn yet heartfelt highlight, and She's Got Rhythm as a goofy gem. The rest is pretty average.
Yeah.
You know what? Up to this point, it seems like everything they've said has been like, it sounds like it's been kind of negative, has it not been?
Yeah.
You know, everything up to this point, like Spin is really not like giving them any like, you know.
No, not giving them credit.
Well, we're still.
You're only on 20 or what? I don't know how it started, but you know,
Yeah.
I mean, and the Surfing USA album is okay, but back then half those albums were filler, and they knew it. I mean, real filler. Most people's were though, so nothing against the Beach Boys.
Well, I mean, back in
filler tracks on some early albums, you know, it's just what they did.
Well, back in those days, that's what I was going to say. Back in those days, didn't you? If you would buy a whole album, maybe get like one hit, maybe two, if you really got lucky. But all the rest of it was just filler.
Yeah, but they didn't need to be hits. But there was other good songs on it. But then they would throw some crap stuff that they knew was absolute crap on there. I mean, I mean, they had Chinese drum solos would be a track. They just threw some stuff
Uh,
on there to follow the album.
let me go ahead and close something out here. I forgot that I had a couple of programs open. That's probably my computer's trying to slow up on me here. Okay, there we go. Good. Okay, we're good. Okay, now All Summer Long is going to be number 17, 1964. All Summer Long was the kind of sonic leap forward that Brian would become accustomed to making in the early to mid 1960s. Here we started to see more musical development, more unconventional instruments, and more of those iconic Wilsonian chord changes. Marveling each song, Brian was beginning to experiment with structure and veer away from surfing themes with a growing introspection that would go on to characterize some of their most advanced works.
I totally agree with that because this
Mm-hmm.
All Summer Long is basically like the prelude to what you will hear later on with Today and Summer Days and Summer Nights. All Summer Long has like the title
Mm-hmm.
track, and as well as it has like a lot of other good songs in it, like Little Honda and
Yep.
Wendy, and um it's a great album. I really
Oh,
enjoy it.
oh, wrong. Wait. What happened here?
Hmm.
Oh, there we go. I'm like, oh, what happened here? It's trying to change this
Yeah,
around a little bit. So, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
We'll go that way.
yeah.
Okay, that's good. Never mind. Okay, so number 16, 2020, 1969. 1969 was a difficult time for the Beach Boys. Record sales were slowing. Dennis Lodger, Charles Manson, wanted to deal with Brother Records, the band's own label, and Brian was admitted to a psychiatric hospital. A collection of odds and sods that never quite feels like a coherent body of work. 2020 still has a few all-timers, including the Whip Smart Do It Again, and a lush, thrumming cover of the Ronettes, I Can Hear Music, Our Prayer, and Cabin Essence. Harvested from the Smile, Glut, close out the album in all their faded magnificence.
Yeah, this album, I think it's like
Mm-hmm.
their swan song from Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
Like you do have like a lot of the great tracks on it, like "Do It Again," "I Can Hear Music," and
Mm-hmm.
"Bluebirds Over the Mountain." And also
Mm-hmm.
you're also treated to "Cabin Essence" from the Smile stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
but there's like a lot of other things on there, like "Time to Get Alone," which I think Brian originally wrote for a band called Redwood, which Redwood will later on become Three Dog Night, and so they did
Oh,
their
okay.
version of it about a year later.
I saw Three Dog
Um,
Knives live.
and so it's a really good album. I love 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I said Fox Guy. What was the track Manson wrote?
never learn to love.
Hmm. Okay, number 15, the Beach Boys Christmas album. Ooh.
I
One of
like
the
the
finest
Christmas
festive
album.
albums, the Beach Boys Christmas album features a few originals, including the Mary Wilson Love collaboration, Little Saint Nick, which is actually it's a staple now,
It
and some
is.
orchestration-heavy updates of Christmas standards. We Three Kings of Orient Are
Yep.
is the slow burn highlight here, showcasing how rich and supple Brian's voice was pre-1970.
Mhm.
Fox, I said, never learn not to love. Okay, let me see.
Yeah,
Time to get a
it was
little
originally
bit.
called "Cease to Exist."
Mhm.
Yeah,
Surfer Girl, the Beach Boys, 1963. Surfer
Oh.
Girl is the album where Brian started to strain against a simpler rock and roll format, on the back of which the Beach Boys had catapulted to fame. Along with the gorgeous ballad Surfer Girl, there's also In My Room, which approaches a kind of introverted sublime, despite the obligatory stuff, surf, and girls tracks. Catch a Wave is another highlight. Brian's growing production chops and strange, non-linear chord progressions mark Surfer Girl. Why am I having trouble with that word?
Are you having
yeah,
Surfer Girl. I'm having a stroke. Ugh. Surfer Girl is the moment the Beach Boys started to leave competitors in their wake. Blah, 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 blah.
yeah. "Surfer Girl" is the first
Mhm,
album that Brian Wilson became the band's producer. Like
mhm,
having basically taking the power away from Nick Van Ed, as well as the power away from
mhm,
his father as well. And he produced a really great first album of his productions. Like not only had like Surfer Girl on it, you also had like
mhm,
Yeah.
Catch a Wave, They'll Do Scoop, In My Room. And you
Yeah.
also had like a lot of great album tracks on it, like Our Car Club, Hawaii, and my personal favorite, The Surfer Moon. Which I think
mhm,
The Surfer Moon is such a beautiful track. I recommend anybody to listen to this album, especially in stereo.
mhm.
I love In My Room. That's a beautiful song. That's a beautiful.
Yeah, I remember my mother playing this album a lot, and that was like one of her favorite songs from when she was a
My
kid.
dad
Was in my
too.
room.
My dad played this a
Uh-huh.
lot too. He was really into the Beach Boys, and we used to listen to that when I was little. It brings a lot of sentimental value and memory.
I remember that surfboard popping up on Pawn Stars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somebody had
tried
brought it
on.
in. Just a moment, I'll be right back. Give me just a moment, people. Be right back.
Okay.
I've actually seen that surfboard in person. That actually, the one that came in Palm Stars. That was probably like rented out. Because that surfboard was actually at Rockaway Records, which is at in Glendale.
Yeah.
He has
never
it now?
been there.
They always had it.
Oh, they always
think-
had it? Okay, because I was just wondering, because I mean, was that the exact one that ended up on Pawn Stars? Because there only had to have been one, right?
They either rented it for the episode or it was basically a rip-off one. I don't exactly remember. I don't pay attention to that show. That show is fucking fake. I'm sorry to say.
It is,
every reality TV show is fake.
Every reality show is fake, but come on. I mean,
I remember Pawn Stars. They went back and forth with me for a little while there because I was dating this chick who had I think I said the Jack Benny bag, and it had Jack Benny clubs and it had all this documentation, all these tags and everything from these pro golfers that had been like part of the Jewish roundtable at I forgot the name of the golf club was. I forgot the name. Well, anyways, long story short, they went back and forth with like emails but they didn't want to pay for anything. It's like they wouldn't pay for you to come to Vegas. They wouldn't pay for like anything. They wouldn't even pay you for your time on there. It's like why do you even want to go just to be on TV and like you're like, oh look, and see if he'll rip you off. So I don't know. Yeah. But anyways,
but I digress. Next album then.
Yeah. Star Trekker said I watched that documentary on Disney Plus. I'm sure a lot of people did. Surfer Girl is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Listen to it. Mason contrast here. I want to school you in Beach Boys knowledge.
Mason's not coming in.
I also agree with David Marks. Yeah, we need to also acknowledge that a lot of these early albums did feature David Marks on rhythm guitar. He was basically the rhythm guitarist for them for about 5 albums until Al Jardine was able to come back into the band.
Yeah.
So David Marks was like, he's like a very important element of all those early recordings.
Star Trekker, there was
Shutdown Volume 2.
I love Shutdown Volume 2.
Most early Beach Boys records contain a few breathtaking cuts, some earworms that Brian seems to have bashed out during a week at the piano, one or two that beg the question why in this regard. Shutdown Volume 2 is in good company, still it boasts Don't Worry Baby, pure pop perfection, and the elegant warmth of the sun, with its complex harmonies and unpredictable modulations.
Yes. The thing about Shutdown Volume... I'm sorry. The thing about Shutdown Volume 2, and the reason why it was called Shutdown Volume 2 is because Capitol had released a compilation album called Shutdown, and without the Beach Boys' consent. And so they felt that, as like a dig on them, they called their next album Shutdown Volume 2, which does have like a lot of really good tracks on it. You do get Fun, Don't Worry Baby, Warmth of the Sun, and you also get like other kinds of things like This Car of Mine, Why Do Fools Fall in Love, their version of that song, and a very quirky track that I like. It's called, I think it's called Cassie's Love versus something Wilson. And it's basically both Brian and Mike, like, digging at each other's singing and stuff. So, Brian says, like, when you sing it, your voice is like a very put down. And Mike is like, well, every time you sing, Brian, you sound like Mickey Mouse with a sore throat. and they're both trying to imitate each other and stuff. And it's a very funny track. You got to listen to it.
I have that album. I got it for like $9 at the rec.
Which one? Shutdown Volume 2?
Yep. $9.
Okay, let's see. The Beach Boys today, 1965, often seen as Pet Sounds' forefather. The Beach Boys today neglects the typical cars and surfing songs in favor of meditations on age and anxiety, partly fueled by Brian's introduction to marijuana and the time and space afforded by stepping back from touring. It showcases classical orchestration, Please Let Me Wonder, dissonance in the back of my mind, and more complex harmonies that you can shake a stick at. Are more, big things were brewing in Brian Wilson's brain. Okay.
You are correct, Star Trekker.
Oh no,
Yeah,
here we go. We're doing go with that again. The miseducation of Lauryn Hill
I
is number one.
now now Beach Boys today. I think that's like a top fiver for me, and the reason why I say that is because of all the amazing stuff that you get off of this album. Not only have like the better version of Rhonda, which I feel like the
Mm-hmm.
today version is way better than the single version. You also get, um, when I grow up, you get Dance, 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 Please Let Me Wonder, Kiss Me Baby, and you also get like a lot of other album tracks on it, like Good to My Baby um and uh I'm spacing out on the other one. I'm So Young, their version of, I think it was either the Ronettes song or somebody else doing I'm So Young. Um but it's also you also get like a lot of and also you get Dennis Wilson's first lead vocal on their take on Do You Want to Dance.
Mm-hmm.
um and also there's something that I forgot to mention about Shutdown Volume 2, but also dovetails into this album as well, is that not many people know this, but even though you see like a lot of footage of the Beach Boys playing and you see Brian Wilson on bass, a lot of this bass playing that was happening on Shutdown Volume 2 going into today was actually done by Al Jardine, and he was actually a really amazing bass player. I was impressed to hear that. Oh no, all the bass parts like on "Don't Worry, Baby" and "When I Grow Up" and stuff like that. That was all Al Jardine playing the bass on it. So he totally rocked on that instrument.
Okay, 11. Carl and the Passion So Tough, 1972. God, the year I was born. The thing's 52 years old. Carl and the Passion So Tough is notable for being the first album in 5 years not stoked in the embers of Smile, and it sounds all the better for it. Dennis Wilson contributes to Wagnerian, Cuddle Up and Make It Good, while Here She Comes and Hold On to Your Brother, courtesy of new members Ricky Fattar and Blondie Chaplin, recall the bandesque Americana. Like most of the band's late 60s and 70s albums, Brian's contributions are fitful but magnificent.
Yeah.
Fox Guy said Al Jardine is the BB Sicker weapon.
I mean, I've heard from people that the twofer, what is it, the Carl and the Passion and the Pet Sounds twofer
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
is the best one to get.
that was the only way you could get that. Carl and the Passions was not released on its own. It came with Pet Sounds.
Yeah, I heard that's a good one. I wanna try and find it.
I never understood the Carl and the Passions album. I probably need to give it another listen.
Ooh, Wild Honey.
I didn't get it.
1967, Wild Honey. Designed to allow Brian to cool out after the arduous Smile recording process, Wild Honey is characterized by its classic R&B sound and pared back sonic palette of detuned piano, organ, and bass, a back-to-basics approach that subverted the psychedelic excesses of the mid to late 1960s. Listening to the likes of Wild Honey, you get the sense that Brian had an arsenal of tracks like Country Air and Darling, and that with more time, space, and support to carry on crafting weird pop marvels in his home studio, more albums of this caliber might have been released. Just another what if to add to the teetering pile.
Yeah, the thing about Wild Honey is like, if the Let It Be album was the Beatles' Back to Basics album, Wild Honey was that for the Beach Boys, it's the only album where it was basically them playing their own instruments on this album. They were no longer reaching out to the wrecking crew to play on the songs, except for if they needed like some horns for something like the song Darlin' or Aren't You Glad. But a lot of the stuff was just being played by the boys themselves. And this album had like a lot of really great soul stuff, like Wild Honey, Darling, Love Just Wants to See You, and also you get a really nice take of Carl singing I Was Made to Love Her, the Stevie Wonder song. It's a really groovy album. I love it.
Carol didn't even play on half the stuff she claims. Says she is like Bernard Purdy. Fox Guy says I have all the studio sheets. I can't believe his dad sold the publishing for $700,000. Now it's worth millions. He says she makes shit up. Carol also took credit for Jameson's bass lines.
I'm gonna say this. She's a fucking cunt. I don't like her.
Well, you had that bad experience with her, didn't you, on
Yeah.
Facebook?
Oh
I'm
yeah.
talking about, yeah.
Me and Teresa Cowles, who is, um, I think she's the girlfriend of Mike Schnee. Um,
Oh, okay.
she
Yes.
had her run in with Carol K as well.
Yeah.
Well, she was just very rude, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Holland, 1973. Holland is undoubtedly the last great collaborative Beach Boys album. During its writing and recording in Holland, Brian largely stayed away from the studio, although he was working on the Randy Newman-inspired Mount Vernon and Fairway EP back home in Laren, North Holland. And the rest of the band were left to fend for themselves. New manager Jack Riley and Carl Wilson contributed the anti-colonial The Traitor, while Dennis Wilson and Mike Love collaborated on The Tender Only With You, and Brian co-wrote the rollicking Sail on Sailor. Once the group returned to LA, if Holland does nothing else, it proves the Beach Boys could function without their erstwhile leader.
Yeah.
I
I
read that
like that.
completely
I
wrong,
like
but
it.
okay.
I like it.
Okay, let's see. Summer
Yeah,
Days of Summer Night.
the good thing about Holland was like they had like a lot of really good material on it. Like you had like the California saga that Al was putting together, but the record company was like I think you guys need just one more hit, and so the company as well as the Beach Boys themselves hired out Van Dyke Parks to work with Brian on writing a hit song, which was weird considering that, especially with the Beach Boys, I don't think they really want to work with Van Dyke Parks again after the whole Smile thing. But they're like, but it was Van Dyke Parks that instigated them doing the Brothers recording contract with Warner's. So they owed like a lot of their success after leaving Capitol to Van Dyke Parks, and Sail on Sailor is like the amazing song. That was like the big hit that album needed, and so that was all done by both Brian and Van Dyke, showing that collaboration really was a great collaboration. Aside from doing Heroes and Villains and Surfs Up.
Okay, let's see. Friends, number 7,
Oh,
1968. Friends is.
You skipped Summer Days and Summer Nights.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Number 8, Summer Days and Summer Nights, 1965. Summer Days and Summer Nights is patchy, but it has a clutch of all-time classics. Let Him Run Wild and You're So Good to Me demonstrate the economy of Brian's songwriting. Not second. Second is wasted. Well, and Your Dream Comes True shows their 5-part harmony at its peak. Oh, yeah, and there's California Girls, which encapsulates everything wonderful about the Beach Boys' music, from the aching orchestral prelude to the subtly complex vocal rounds and utterly infectious melodies. Who cares if an album is spotty when it contains songs like this?
Yeah, Summer Days, Summer Nights was a great follow-up after doing the Today album, and I love like a lot of the songs that was on this album, like Let 'Em Run Wild, You're So Good to Me, as well as Girl Don't Ask Me, which I think it was their attempt on doing Ticket to Ride by the Beatles, which I think they pulled it off really good. And plus you have California Girls, and you have like this really beautiful instrumental called Summer Means New Love. And also there's like this little song on there where Brian Wilson takes a dig at his father. It's called I'm Bugged at My Old Man. And he basically talks about, it's basically like a kid that, like, I guess he did something bad. So his dad took away like his clock radio, and like, he's grounded. Like, he can only eat like a piece of bread for dinner while they're having steak in the
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a very funky track. And they even did it live on on a TV show. You see Brian, Dennis, and Carl doing it during 75 or 76, and it's a funny ass song. I like it.
They probably ate
And
some bread.
if you have the album, it tells you like the vocals of who's doing it. But when it comes to that track, it says can't say, too embarrassed. But we all know it's Brian.
Okay, number 7, Friends, 1968. Friends is one of a few late 60s Beach Boys albums that disproves the idea that Brian was just a rock star recluse.
Yeah.
Wake the World and the title track share the musical complexity of Smile and Pet Sounds, though they're less lyrically inventive. We also see the first stirrings of Dennis Wilson as a creative force. His crystalline Little Bird and Be Still are some of the album's high points. True to form, though, an excellent record faced a chilly public response, and Friends limped to number 126 in the U.S. charts. Later, consensus deemed it as perfect an assembly of sunny orchestral pop as anything else from the 1960s.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
what I love about Friends was like, it's God, I feel like Mason right now.
You are
I was like, you have all the information right now.
Well,
Yeah.
I researched these albums. Like, the sad thing about Friends was like it's a beautiful album, but it gets overlooked because it's such a short album, which is true because a lot of the songs are usually between 1 minute and 53 seconds to 2 minutes and 23 seconds. So the songs are very, very short. So it's a very, very short album, which is easy
Yeah.
to make it forgettable. But it, even though the songs are very short, the music is great. You have "Wake the World," "Friends," "When a Man Needs a Woman." Oh no, "When a Man Loves a Woman," "Be with Me," and "Busy Doing Nothing," which I love. "Busy Doing Nothing." That's a
Yeah, they wrote that
beautiful,
song for a certain
kind of
someone.
like laid back track. Um, it's a great album. I totally like it. It's an album that I put on at ease and just like was you know relaxed to. I love it.
I mean, I've listened to it once because I happened to get a copy of Friends from Mazzy, because Mazzy
Mm-hmm.
sent me I think he sent me like a promo copy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a fun album. I've only played it once.
Let me see. Fox Guy said "Little Bird," best song on the album, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
I like Little Bird.
me too. That's a
Okay,
beautiful
number
song.
6, "Smiley Smile," 1967. In 1983, Carl Wilson told a musician that if Smile was a home run, Smiley Smile was a bunt. Full ingestion of the Smile Kool-Aid might support this diagnosis, but Smiley Smile is equally atmospheric yet looser, less weighty, a work of subtraction rather than addition. It is wonderfully immediate album. It is a wonderfully immediate album. You feel like you're right there in Brian's hash fume-filled Arabian tent, listening to the Beach Boys giggling, blowing through glass bottles, or messing around on a Baldwin organ. An ancestor of lo-fi music and bedroom pop, Smiley Smile is in its own way more influential than Smile. At least it stepped up to the plate.
Yeah, it was. Um, after hearing Smile, even after before hearing Smile, I was listening to Smiley Smile, and I was like, okay, what kind of shit are they on? Because I was like, it was like a lot of songs on it were
Mm-hmm.
like, well, you had like the normal kind of songs on it, like
Mm-hmm.
Vegetables, Heroes and Villains, and Good Vibrations. But then you had like a lot of these other kind of songs on it that was like, She's Going Bald, and the Woodpecker song, um, and other things, and especially when you hear She's Going Bald, I was like, what is this about? And
They wrote it for the
uh,
movie.
this other song, I think it's supposed to be like in Hawaii or something like that. It's a very trippy album, but
I
I
mean,
think as time went on, I reevaluated out this album, and I was like, oh, wasn't so bad
I
as I thought,
mean,
even though the second side really does suck.
is it safe to say that Smiley Smiley is an album they came out with because of the success of Pet Sounds, right? When they had
No,
some.
No,
no,
no.
it's a fire sale of Smile is what it is.
I mean, but
It's
like they were
Burt
trying
Reynolds
to.
of Smile,
But what I mean
and
is there was a there. I mean that the Beach Boys. I think there was probably a time when the Beach Boys, they knew they had that successful album and they knew they had to make kind of like a follow up to Pet Sound. And what
well, that
album?
Well,
was
the
yeah,
follow.
well, yeah. He wanted to beat Pepper, and he
Yeah,
didn't,
that's
and then he
exactly.
sort of gave up. And they had to release it. He spent so much time and so much money on it. But the
Yeah,
problem with Smile is it's missing a lot, or Smiley Smile is it's missing a lot, and it needs the flow of the order that it's supposed to be in, and it's just not. It's just pieces, and it
yeah,
doesn't work as just pieces.
I
That's why
yeah.
mean,
much. Yet
Smiley
Smile is one
Smile
of my favorite albums.
Smiley Smile would have been a great album if they would have used the original Wonderful track, the original Vegetables, as well as using both Cabin Essence and Surf's Up. and it was a thing where like everybody heard Surf's Up from Brian performing it on that one thing that Leonard Bernstein did, which was like rock a pop revolution special, and everybody was waiting to hear that song, but when it didn't appear on Smiley Smile, that album, it was like people were just weren't having it. So Smile was supposed to be the follow up to Pet Sounds, not Smiley Smile. Smiley Smile is just basically it's basically the Wish.com Smile. Let's put it that way.
Well, they were trying to make a Sgt. Pepper's album, right? They were trying to, have the
But they
success
did
of the
put Good
Beatles.
Vibrations on it, and that's the only reason it would. Good Vibrations wasn't on that album, and to a lesser extent, Heroes and Villains.
Sorry.
It wouldn't have sold
Had to.
at all.
No, Smiley Smile was not trying to be Pepper because Pepper didn't even come out yet. Pepper wasn't even in
Smile
production.
was- Brian was racing McCartney and Lennon for the greatest album ever, and the Beatles won. That's what happened.
Considering that Brian Wilson had like about a 5-month head start because Smile went into production during the summer of '66.
I know, but he didn't finish it, and he lost. He kept micromanaging everything and redoing everything, and he didn't finish it, and so he lost. And Capitol had to put this stuff out somehow. They'd spent $1 billion on it, so it was coming out in one form or another.
Yeah, it is true. That Smile had the best cover, and this list doesn't even show it.
Yeah.
We got to go back to this one, though. Steve Schnee said, I heard they're selling Tim Allen bobbleheads here. Is that true? We need a bobblehead collection here.
We do.
We totally need a bobblehead. And then, of course, Steven Schnee said, Tim Allen VC, Tim Allen actor. Of course, Tim Allen VC ends up winning that one.
I mean, you can make Funko Pops of people.
So Tim Allen VC, Tim Allen actor, the same person.
Well, one is a right winger.
We got to make a design and start. We got to get our spring tea store up. I mean, everybody else is using spring tea.
I mean, we've got VC people.
Teespring. I'm sorry. There you go.
I don't know. We just got to start making like catchphrases and putting them on shirts.
Okay, we got 5 more to go. Let's get through these since we're almost done. Almost there. Surf's Up, 1971. Surf's Up epitomizes. I'm sorry. Did I say that word right? Yeah, I did. What the Beach Boys had shed, the corny stage outfits, the formulaic albums, some of the goofiness, and demonstrates what an innovative rock ensemble they had become. Bruce Johnson contributes to Winsome Disney Girls, 1957. Brian delivers the hauntingly, I'm going to mispronounce this word, elegiac? I've never heard that word. Surf's Up, re-recorded for this album. Till I Die in a Day in the Life of a Tree, while Carl Wilson supplies the finest songs he ever wrote, the lushly textured and handsome Long Promised Road, and Feel Flows, Surfer's World This Is Not.
No.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, it's a beautiful album, a great follow-up to Sunflower, and the songs that they listed are very stunning songs like Feel Flows and Long Promised Road. Great Carl Wilson moments right there. Surf's Up was not a re-recording. They actually used the original Smile stuff on it. The only thing that they did was just overdubbed onto it. But I think the most beautiful song on it, and it's kind of like a fucked up thing to say, but in a way it's true. The most beautiful song on that album is Till I Die. And you could just totally hear, like, what Brian was feeling through those lyrics and the music on that song. It's a beautiful song, but it's also like, very dark, depressing.
It's an emo song. It's an emo song.
Okay, now this I think is like the ugliest cover of any Beach Boys album I've ever seen. Every time I see somebody pull this out, I'm just like, oh, that is such an ugly cover. I don't know why.
And it's self-destruct. It's the 8-track of album covers too. It fades and it tears and
It's like an 8-bit cover.
Yeah.
How is this for your shirt? Are you crazy about the Beach Boys? So was Charles Manson.
Or so was Mason. So was Mason.
There you go. Okay, let's see. Let me see. Number 4, The Beach Boys' Love You, 1977. From the first brace of squelchy Moog synth on opener, Let Us Go On This Way. It's clear that the Beach Boys' Love You stands alone in their discography, a kind of switched on slice of life. It maps Brian's general headspace circa 1977 in the same way Pet Sounds did in 1966. These are the humdrum and human experiences of a man who spent his time simply pottering about. Highlights also include the luminous The Night Was So Young, as good as anything off Pet Sounds, and I'll bet he's nice. Brian has said on many occasions the Beach Boys' Love You is his favorite Beach Boys album. It's easy to see why.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
because
here's-
he
here's-
couldn't
Yeah.
he couldn't deal with it. That's why.
Here's some trivia question for you guys. What is Mason's favorite album?
All of them.
It is. The answer is number 3.
Number 3,
I was
Sunflower,
gonna say
for real?
Sunflower, and I didn't even get to it yet, but I was going to say it's Sunflower, isn't it?
Yep,
Number
he talked about it.
3,
He talked about
Mason's
it so
favorite
much.
album. Sunflower. In 1970, the Beach Boys were ready to start again. A deal with Reprise Records. Is it Reprise or Reprise? Reprise, right?
It's
Reprise.
actually reprised.
Reprise. Okay, because I've heard it pronounced like different ways. That's the reason why I'm like, okay. Freshly inked, all 6 members were collaborating, and Brian was writing in earnest. Sunflower grew from this harmonious terror. Yeah, terror.
Yeah.
It's got to be terror. I don't think it's terror. The blissed out atmosphere of All I Want to Do predates Chill Wave, dealing in buttery synths and heavy reverb. Forever is Dennis Wilson's magnum opus. Cool Water, an idiosyncratic smile rework, bubbles merrily along on to its own beat. The rest of the album is perfect pop winner wherever you look. Naturally, it was a commercial flop. Brian retreated to bed and discontent brewed. Sunflower signaled the end of something before it had really begun. Okay, so yeah, sounds like an album where we
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
In most part, it's a really good album, even though it's like a little bit disjointed here and there. But you do get like a lot of really good songs on it. Like you do, This Whole World is a really great song, even though I felt like it should have been longer because I didn't buy into like having a minute and 53 song.
But it's
minute.
also a cover, so
Yeah.
I always
And-
take off a little bit for that.
And also you do get like another great song from Dennis, which is the song Forever. Beautifully sung by him and not John Stamos.
Damn, John.
But I also feel like it would have been like a much stronger album if they would have added something like the Cell Playing song or Soulful Old Man Sunshine, which would not get released until the Endless Harmony soundtrack of 1999. But it's a good album nonetheless.
Don't
Charlie's
lift
all-
that
I knew-
dusty till we get finished.
Oh yeah, slip on
Be-
through. I forgot about the song Box Guy.
I mean,
What'd you say? Don't. I'm sorry. Don't what?
Don't lift that till you're through with number 2. I'm in suspense because it better be what I think it is.
Okay. Pet Sounds, 1966. It's remarkable how thoroughly Pet Sounds has saturated popular culture. The hits regularly appear in films, adverts, and television shows, and its rivals, the likes of Dark Side of the Moon, Rumors, and Revolver, for capital GA, great album status among civilians. However, it still hasn't lost any of its emotional heft or innovation. There's One to Be Nice, that bounding golden retriever of a song. There's God Only Knows, a work of exquisite yearning. Don't Talk, Put Your Head on My Shoulder is one sad sigh committed to tape. So good it's almost scary. Pet Sounds is every bit as wonderful as everybody says.
Yes.
I mean, if
Okay.
you think about
It's my
it,
favorite album, so I can't.
if you think about it, the COVID song on that album was "I Wasn't Made for Today."
Mm-hmm.
Or I wasn't made for these days.
For real. I mean, I didn't really build an appreciation for Pet Sounds until recently, probably in the last couple of years.
No,
maybe.
I've always loved Pet Sounds. My dad played
It's
it.
almost not a rock album. It's almost like an Exotica album. I mean, it's got that whole, there's not a song on Pet Sounds you couldn't play on, and I'm sorry, Steven, but it's true. There's not a song on Pet Sounds you couldn't play on Ski Lodge. It's got that whole vibe to it, that sunshine pop, but almost loungy in a way. Like, especially
It's very adult
contemporary. It's great.
Yeah, it's a very adult contemporary kind of album. Like a lot
Yeah,
of songs are really like, they're not Beach Boy songs. I feel like this album could have been just called Brian Wilson Pet Sounds, because a lot of the songs are like, out of the Beach Boy kind of wheelhouse. A lot of great tracks on it. You do get like, stuff like, Wouldn't It Be Nice, Snoop John B, God Only Knows,
Yeah.
but you also get a lot of retrospective stuff like, That's Not Me, and um Here Today, and I Just Wasn't Made for These Times.
Yep.
Like I feel like this is the kind of album that people could relate to on a very philosophical way,
Yeah.
and I think should have been marketed in that kind of light. If
yeah.
Capital were just taking their heads out of their asses around that time too.
Oh, I had a rant about the Beatles fans. Yeah.
I know people that don't like this album but love the Left Bank's first album, and I'm like, really? Really, you
I
need to take
mean,
another
if you
listen to
think
Pet
about
Sounds. I
it,
mean, nothing wrong with the Left Bank's first album, but Pet Sounds is better.
I mean, when you think about it, I came to really appreciate the album when I heard Brian Wilson doing it live in its entirety. I was like, wow. I
It's
had
just,
more of an appreciation for the album, even though Brian
it's
Wilson was in bad health. He came
and
up there and he did the album.
it's of a it's of a piece, if you know what I mean. I mean, every song fits. There's nothing on Pet Sounds that doesn't belong there,
I mean, didn't
which you can't say about a lot of albums.
your favorite person say he wish he wrote Pet Sounds or something to that effect?
Paul McCartney. Now I
Yeah.
could have sworn actually that Pet Sounds I thought was written in response to the Beatles, and that the Beatles were Sgt. Pepper in response to Pet Sounds.
Yeah, no,
Is the way I understood it. The way you'd gone.
Yeah.
I guess.
Ah.
yeah. I mean, there used to be a story. Who knows if it's true? Probably not. But the Lennon and McCartney went to Beach Boys, listening party. When the album was done for Pet Sounds, and the rumor's always been that they went in another room and came out with Here, There, and Everywhere. Who knows if that's true? But it says a lot about how
Yeah.
much the
Probably,
album-
probably not. Probably not, because by the time that Pet Sounds came out, Revolver had already been released.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
but
I'm not saying that a party
Yeah.
came out. I'm saying a listening party. It was done before it came out.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't
Well, what happened was like, yeah, it was like a listening party, and I think because Bruce Johnston brought the album with him to England, and it was Keith Moon that was introducing everybody to Bruce Johnston, like hey, this is my buddy, and then like a lot of people were coming by, like Pete Townsend and a lot of other people. Andrew Lloyd Oldham came representing the Rolling Stones, and all of a sudden there was a phone call that Bruce got, and it was like John Lennon and Paul McCartney are downstairs, and they're coming up to listen to this album. So they came up, and then Bruce Johnson played them the album, and then after the album was over, they're like, "Can you play it again?" So we did, and they played it all, the entire album again. And after that, they said like, "Can you play it one more time?" So you heard the album, 3 times, and then after that, they're done. They're like, "Thank you so much. That's a great album," and and then they left, and it was like, wow, it was like a surreal thing for them.
They took mental notes. They
Yeah.
took mental.
But Brian had heard Rubber Soul and kind of started writing Pet Sounds. I mean, so they influence each other. They all, and thank good for that, because it was a spirit of competition, but it was cooperative competition, not like today. I mean, there was always competition, but they all helped each other at the same time, and they wanted because if you do better, I'm going to do better. It was that sort of a thing.
It's cross pollination. It's basically like
Yeah.
a lot.
You get this idea, I'm going to get this idea, and from this idea, you're going to get that idea, and then I'm going to, and that's the way it was. It's not that way anymore.
And that's the beauty thing about why the 60s was such a great time in music, because it wasn't like how now where everything is just totally kept in secret. Back then, it was like, everybody was like friends with everybody. So everybody was getting influenced by each other's music. It doesn't matter if you're a band from LA or a band from England. Everybody was just like, just like uh really like influencing each other. Like, the Beatles will be influencing the Beach Boys, the Hollies will probably be doing something that like the Buffalo Springfield was picking up on, or the Birds were doing something that maybe the Zombies wanted to do. It was just this beautiful time where everybody was just admiring each other. It wasn't like, like I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna like show this motherfucker that I could do this better than him.
They used
Yeah.
to promote each other. When artists used to get interviewed, one of the questions always asked is, what are you listening to now? Who do you like? Blah blah blah. They don't. That never happens today. You never see an interview with Taylor Swift or anybody going, "What are you listening to?" They they don't promote each other anymore. They don't.
James McCartney. James McCartney.
Both Tim and
Steve.
Paulina are wrong. After John and Paul heard Pet Sounds, they wrote Hotel California and Smoke on the Water.
I love you, Steven. I love you.
Dusty with the ultimate. Okay, what? Okay, I know. We've been holding on that for 15 minutes. Okay, let's go ahead.
It
On
better
to
be
number
what I-
one.
I know what number. I know it's gonna be an obvious no
It
brainer.
better be. There you go. It
Yeah.
better be. It better be.
My
Number one, Smile, and non-applicable, The Smile Sessions, 2011. The greatest what could have been in popular music. Smile, conceived and written between 1966 and 67, was Brian and lyricist Van Dyke Park's Imaginarium, their sandbox, a Technicolor trip that tells the story of America through interlinked songs and repeated musical feels in vignettes. Vignettes. Okay, well. And yet it never quite materialized with the liters of ink spilled over Smile. The story would be in danger of outweighing everything else if the music wasn't so good. We set off with Our Prayer, a rapturous, wordless chorale that gives way to the bonkers musical journey of heroes and villains, and the astonishing Gershwinesque cabinescence, past the baroquely pretty wonderful past Surf's Up, perhaps Wilson and Park's best collaboration, and the singular good vibrations. While its final form was never quite realized, Smile lives on like some ancient, incomplete mosaic of fragments of a sacred text, sustained by its enduring legacy.
That is exactly right.
I totally agree. Smile totally kicks ass, and even though like everybody loves Pet Sounds, Smile is my number one, and I think I feel like I also connect to Smile in a very kind of primal, kind of philosophical kind of way. A lot of great things was recorded for this album that sadly would not get released until following albums or until this box set came out, because you do have a lot of stuff that came out like Heroes and Villains, Vegetables, Cabinescence, Wonderful, Surf's Up, but you also have like a lot of these other things in there, like Wind Chimes and Child is the Father of the Man, Barnyard, Do You Like Worms, and Love to Say Dada. And also you have like this really cool track that did earn Brian Wilson a Grammy many years later, which was the infamous Fire track. He did win a Grammy for that when he put out Brian Wilson Presents Smile. It just totally kicks ass. I love this album, and I think
I like
if you've seen that documentary, Beautiful Dreamer, they're like like saying we need to rehearse Fire before Brian comes, because right now it's starting to sound like Ozzy Osbourne. Which it does. It's like it's Brian Wilson doing Ozzy Osbourne before
Ozzy
Osbourne was Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne's A Bark at the Moon. Great album.
Did Mike Love ever freaking have hair?
It wasn't an album until the 2000s, but it is an album.
Did Mike Love ever have hair?
Count it now.
Well, he was in his 20s in that picture, and he was going bald already. Yikes.
Yeah.
But Pauline is probably going to hate this, but I almost like Brian Wilson's live version of Smile better than the Beach Boys cobbled together version of Smile.
I actually do agree with that. I actually do agree. I love the hearing how it sounded live than how it sounded in studio when they went back to the studio to record it.
Think about it. This is live. This is it's amazing that this is live. Bands can't do this.
If they would have, I just wish they should do a RSD release where they put out Brian Wilson presents Smile live, and it has to be that show. Because I would totally listen to that all the time. Because that live performance was just totally stunning. I I listen to I rather listen to the live version more than the studio version
Yeah,
any day
and
of the week.
it's way better than Brian's live Pet Sounds. Pet Sounds is
Well,
good live, but
Brian
the
has some
album is
bangs,
not
some major
is
bangs
better.
in
Yeah.
that picture.
But Smile, not necessarily.
That's an unusual picture. It's like he's holding up a mirror and the band's like in the reflection. That's weird.
It is.
It's an unusual picture, but it is what it is.
He's
I was just
giving
trying to
his
show some of
model
the.
face.
I'm trying to show some of the beginning ones that like Tim missed. So like like Stars and Stripes was number 30. 29 was Summer in Paradise.
Oh my
28
God.
was Still Cruising. 27 Beach Boys Party. 26 The Beach Boys. 25 Keeping the Summer Alive. 24 was 15 Big Ones. That one actually turned everybody off. That was like everybody's like.
That one's that's
Yeah.
23 Little Deuce Coupe. 22 was Surfing Safari. 21 That's Why God Made the Radio, and I think that's where
I
he came in.
thought that was a boring album. Sorry for anybody that liked it, but I didn't.
We should rank more. We should go and talk about more rankings because I think people enjoy hearing our opinion.
Oh god, the rankings are just like freaking crazy. I mean, some of the rankings are just well. I mean, like Vinyl and Kick said, Spin Magazine isn't as reputable as they used to be at one time.
No,
Hell, Rolling Stone isn't as reputable as they used to
No.
be at one
I
time.
have a great book
You
by
know.
Spin, but it's like from the late '90s or early 2000s when they
Yeah.
were good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But now
I remember I had a subscription to Spin Magazine, and one of the first articles I ever got from there was like an Arcade Fire one. They were on the front cover.
Fox Guy said the Dominic Prior book.
I've been dying to get that book, and I heard it's a great album and a great book, and plus, I do
I'll be right back, people.
I do know Dominic Priori. We're friends on Facebook. We've actually been friends for quite a long time on Facebook, and it's because of like my association with like certain songwriters that I've been able to became friends with like a lot of these people like Dominic and Andrew Sandoval and Probin Gregory, who plays in Brian's band and stuff. And I think that's how I also became friends with people like Teresa Cowles, who is with Mike Schnee, which it was weird that it's like I knew Teresa, but I never I didn't. It's amazing that I never heard of Steve until the pandemic happened and stuff. But it's like this kind of like thing where like a lot of people in LA just knew each other, and
it's a small world. Like I know Jim Bezos, who's in Brian Wilson's band, and Steve Schnee knows him really well. And it's like, wait a minute, we're on opposite coasts here. It's just weird, But yeah.
It always, but it also makes me sad too because I feel like if I would be in LA, if I would have moved out in LA like during like the 2008 2009, I totally would have loved to have been part of the music community out in LA and probably jam out with people like Lisa Michaels and Rick Ramaka, Teresa, and I probably would have met Mike, and then through that Steve, and then work with like a lot of these other musicians and stuff like that. Because I really loved that around that time, like 2010, 2011, 2012. There's this kind of like thing that was happening in LA where like a lot of bands were rediscovering or like bringing back that 60s sound. Like every lot of the stuff that was coming out was sounding like Beatles, Birds, Beach Boys, the Dukes of Stratosphere era of XTC and all that kind of stuff. I was like, I'm totally missing out. What the fuck am I doing here in the desert?
I don't know. Yeah, and for those that might want to know who Jim Laspiza is, before he was in Brian Wilson's band, he was in Green Jelly, which is how I knew him. I worked with him at a record store, but I also knew him because I knew most of the guys in Green Jelly, um, formerly Green Jello. Little
Ah,
lawsuit happened. Now they're Green Jelly. But yeah, Jim was one of the drummers. One of the drummers. They had three. But he was one. He was also one of their,
Yeah.
if not their main songwriter. Um, so yeah,
But I had to become an activist.
and I like Jim was a huge XTC fan, probably still is, and
Mhm.
he wrote the Green Jelly song "Trippin' on XTC." I know he wrote that one.
I have to listen to that.
So yeah, yep. There you go.
I bought some. I for the people who are watching the stream. I bought some more inner sleeves because I was running low on inner sleeves. Those Invest in Vinyl ones on Amazon are very good. I like them. They're like $14.99. They do the job. If anybody's looking for inner sleeves, Invest in Vinyl on
I
Amazon.
don't care that much about inner sleeves.
No, I do. I do have inner sleeves for my color variants. I do.
I mean, you need a lot of my color ones. I put in clear inner sleeves just because I had them and I didn't want to waste them on lousy records.
No, I do them for my. I do them for those records.
Mhm.
But the standard black pressing ones, I just I don't care.
You know, unless I know paper can surface scratch your records if you take it in and out constantly. But how often do you really do that? People with a lot of records, your record might sit on a shelf 10 years between plays, and being in a paper sleeve isn't hurting it. I'm sorry, just sitting there not doing nothing. It's not getting damaged by the paper
Well,
sleeve.
I know I bought some like a 50 pack from Amazon, and
Static doesn't
it's
build up in paper sleeves. I'm answering vinyl and kicks. If you're not playing your record, it doesn't. If it's just sitting on a shelf, it's not doing anything.
yeah.
It's fine.
Little pig, let me in.
Yeah, that's Green Jelly. That's Jim. I don't know if he wrote or co-wrote Three Little Pigs. I could look it up. I don't know.
Oh, that song. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's Jim Lespiza was in that band.
I thought
And
I thought
he was
Dave
one
was
of the drummers a year ago when they did Nuggets, when they did 50 years of Nuggets or whatever. He was one of the drummers for that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. I do a couple of things. Okay, what'd I miss?
We're talking
No,
about
no.
Three Little Pigs.
Okay. The Green Jelly song?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was
Okay.
talking about Jim Lespiza, and before Jim Lespiza was in Brian Wilson's band, he was in Green Jelly and one of the
Oh, okay.
songwriters.
Okay, now. Okay, let's see. Let me see. Okay, never mind. Nope, we don't want to do that one. They have their
let me guess.
50.
It was like
That's 50 great albums of the year.
Hey, do you guys want to
I'm
see something before we do something else?
sure.
what?
I
Uh huh.
got something I could show you
Ooh.
guys. I'm
Sweet.
pretty happy today. You might be able to guess why.
Uh-oh, somebody's yelling in my house. Let me
Do this.
Ah.
I need turntable.
Oh.
I need cartridge. Man, does this thing sound good? This is the best sound I've ever had
Awesome.
out of a turntable. It is. It is nice. And this is the toggle switch I had put in. I don't know if you could even see that because this is hard to do. But right there, that's the toggle switch I had put in. So it's completely
Sweet.
Nice.
That's a sexy setup. Yeah.
That's
It
a
is
nice
nice.
turntable. And you,
I got Ringo's Change the World EP on it. I thought maybe it would be a better EP on a better turntable, but it's not.
what turntable brand is it? Vinyl wants to know what turntable brand it is.
It's modular component systems, MCP. It's a I want to see. I don't know who makes it. It was a JC Penney's turntable. I've heard it's Hitachi. but that could be misinformation. But I mean, this
Okay.
thing is close to 50 years
Mhm.
old, and look at it.
Well,
It's in perfect condition. Look at, I don't know if you'll be able to tell. Look at the lid. It's like flawless.
Wow.
wow.
My brother
Wow.
bought this. I know my brother bought this about 1979. I'm thinking 78 or 79.
So it's been in your family since
Um,
1979?
yes, yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Not again.
Older
I
than me.
modified it. I had it
Uh-huh.
modified, but yeah, it's been. My brother was gonna donate all of his stuff, and he's like, "You want my turntable?" And I'm like, "Sure." And I've had it for years without doing anything with it, and I'm really sorry I did that now because this thing just sounds amazing with this cart. So everybody that said it was a good cart, you're absolutely right. I'm so happy. Yeah.
Nice.
That
Michael Nolan said vintage.
that record player looks like
And
brand spanking new. It looks like something that
Yeah.
just recently came out.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
really nice. And I was worried about
Mhm.
won't flutter and stuff because I hasn't been used in so long. It's absolutely
Yeah.
fine. I was
You
shocked.
you have like 3 turntables now, right? Or actually more than 3. You
I
have
have
that
more than
one.
that.
Which one was the one that you were using actually for?
I have three very usable turntables.
Uh-huh.
And one just needs a cartridge, or needs its cartridge reinstalled, basically. But I can't
Okay.
do it because I'm having fun. But I've got that. I've got a U-turn orbit. I've got
Uh-huh.
a turntable similar to Lisa's, but just drive with the P mounted Techniques. I think it's an
Uh-huh.
SD 2000 or something like that.
I'll be back.
Techniques. And I've also got a Project 1.3. And that's the funky one that looks like a flying saucer.
Uh-huh.
So those
Not
are the
bad. I mean,
fun that work. And they're a nice
um,
turntable.
I don't think I don't have any turntables I think in my house that don't work. It's like they all work. I only have like I think four turntables. I have like the 2 Techniques, the 1200s, the MK5s. I have the Fluence RT85 that I use, and then I have the ATLP 120, which I use for like just streaming. The 2 Techniques, I used to use them in a coffin for DJing, but I use one of them upstairs to listen to music on. What is wrong now, meow? Yeah, I use one of them upstairs to listen to music on. I play records on it now all the time. But yeah. So I mean, yeah, I don't have any. I mean, Lisa has that one.
I technically that work because that Bang & Olufsen works. It just needs a cartridge. So I guess I technically have 5 that work, but I can't use it.
That Bang & Olufsen though, man. I mean, when we were looking at the prices of those styluses, I was like, Jesus Christ. What were they were getting up to like what, $700-800?
Yeah.
$700 or $800 for one of those freaking styluses. Jesus Christ.
I don't use it. I would, but I'm not. Up till today, actually, I would. Maybe it was yesterday. It was yesterday I got it hooked up. I would have. Now I'll take this. Seriously, I'll take the. I am in love with this thing, man. It just sounds so good. It could use a little more bass. I will say that. But I could put my cork mat back on it, and that would probably give it more bass. But I think I'm getting slightly more definition out of using the acrylic platter. So I've got that on there. But
Michael said I had a Pioneer PL 514 in 1979. I'm looking for a Pioneer vintage. That has been one of my things, is that I wanted a vintage. I want to build a vintage Pioneer setup for a secondary setup is what's going to happen eventually. Yeah. Eventually, it's like I want a vintage Pioneer receiver, a vintage Pioneer turntable, and a vintage Pioneer tape deck, and I'll be fine. And I'm just not going to put a CD player on that one. I'm just going to leave that as a standalone set probably somewhere in a listening room because I want to have a listening room when I move. So
the only downside thing, and I said this the other day, the only downside of this turntable is the connecting cords. The RCA cables are built into it. That's the only, so I can't put monster ones on or anything.
Vinyl and kicks is the one that you're talking about. The Kenwood, I'm thinking correctly. One time, I had actually the guy from Left of the Dial wanted to sell me a Kenwood turntable, and if I'm remembering correctly, it had like almost like it looked like a marble plinth. Like the whole plinth was like it looked like it was marble, and it was like heavy as hell. And stuff. I don't know if that's like the one that you're talking about right there, but yeah, most definitely, because I know that Kenwood made some nice turntables.
They sure did.
But I think he wanted like the same thing. He was like up there in the 7s and 8s.
Yeah.
800, and I was like, I'm not gonna pay that. When I had as many turntables as I have, I was like, I'm not gonna pay that much for one right now.
Yeah.
For another turntable collection, but
yeah.
Nice blend, Dusty. Well, thank you. Talking about my turntables, but yeah, I definitely want to get like a whole vintage Pioneer set. Like what I have going on right up there right now is, like I said, I have the Pioneer or the Technics 1200 MK5 up there, which is running on with a NAD amplifier. So I have that up there, but but I want to just swap that whole thing out. So, and I'll probably end up taking the Techniques, and I'm going to go ahead and use them again because I know that Jason Rojas is looking, to have stuff done on his channel. So like that, so I was thinking I would like go ahead and use them for that again, just straight DJing, or whatever, and stuff. Maybe on streams or whatever, and then maybe I'll get rid of the ATL P120. I don't know. Maybe if Lisa's good, Santa will bring it to her. I don't know.
Wow.
Hey, can I just say something? Can I just state my case, Santa? I've been a good girl. That's all.
I don't know. You're over there at Williams causing trouble.
No. Let me explain. Let me explain myself. Because we had a kid that came in there, and I was a little concerned that the adults might, I don't know. I just, I don't know. No, we had, we had that kid Jack that came in, the 13-year-old kid that came into the stream, William stream.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I will explain myself. We had that guy Jack's Music Corner. He's a 13-year-old kid.
Oh, okay. Now I get what you're saying. Okay, because I was like,
he came into the stream and people were, people were like, "Is it past your bedtime?" They were like saying, "Is it past your bedtime to be on these?"
Well, no, because over there on the stream they were talking about because I think they get him and Mark Lastman have a thing going back and forth, and whether or not he's doxed them or they're going back and forth. Something about somebody's license plate and and he went on. But so they were like going back and forth with the drama. So I went in there and I was like talking and stuff, and I was talking to other people. We're talking about other stuff, not even talking about what they were talking about, like in the main screen, type thing. And then I turned around and I was like, just blame it on Lisa. Everybody blames everything on Groovy Lisa.
I mean, if I got some albums I still have to give you. I have them in the Amoeba bag that I still have to give you. I could trade you albums for the LP.
Dusty, can I just say that if you should decide to give that to Lisa, make sure that everything 100% is in working order, or it'll spend the next week in the closet.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna have to go there and hook it up. Freaking put make sure the stylus is on it, the cartridge, make sure the head shell's on it, make sure it plays records and it's completely, or else she'll be like, I don't know, it won't turn on. Did you plug it in? I don't know.
Hey, you two punks out there. I play 21 Pilots on my turntable, so I do know how to somewhat use a turntable.
I'm gonna be like, oh, did you plug it into the wall? Yeah, to the wall.
You guys,
I don't know. Does it come on?
You guys are acting like I'm dumb. You know. Do I have to show you proof? Look. Okay, I'm gonna show you punks proof here. Okay.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
No, look at that. What does this look like? Okay, I'm gonna turn off I'm gonna show you punk's proof. What does this look like? I'm playing a record. You think I don't know what I'm doing? I'm playing Beatles.
No, but two nights ago we tried to help you with your other turntable, and that went really well.
I know how to set it up. I'm just being lazy about it.
See, there you go. Exactly like Wano Kick said, you're going to have to show her how to use it. I know. I'm going to have to.
Let me be really honest with you, okay? I'm going to be really super honest with you. I've never had a turntable with a counterweight and an anti-skate, so I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to learn because all the turntables I've ever had has never been counterweight and anti-skate. It's been preset for you.
Yeah.
No. The U-turn orbit has one. It's just factory set. It has
Yeah.
it.
But what
It
I mean
has
is
it.
I
It's
never
just
had to
factory
set it
set.
up.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean is I've never had to set it up.
Yeah,
So
no.
that's
the
Hold on a
why.
minute. Let me let this
That's the
cat out.
only
I'll be
thing I
right
had
back.
to do to this turntable is I had to set up the counterweight in the anti-skate and plug the cartridge in, which took 4 seconds.
You know,
and then-
one funny story.
Right.
You may ask, Hot Frog. Funny story, but one time a scammer called my dad, and he's like, "Hey, your so and so is out of warranty," and then my dad was like, "Are you trying to scam me?" And the guy said on the phone, "F you," and he hung up on my dad. When I asked him, "Are you scamming me?" I mean, grapes. Yeah, you're
Well,
gonna
what
have
do
to
you
show
think
me.
the guy's gonna say? Yeah, I am. So let's get back to it.
No. The guy had a thick accent. He had a thick accent. But yeah, you're gonna have to show me how to use it. But yeah, and then my U-turn orbit will go over here. Yeah, I'll move my U-turn orbit.
But anyway, so I'm not gonna change turntables now for a long time. I don't think
That is
I am
pretty true.
extremely happy.
I could trade Dusty the Technics for the LP 120 because I'm not currently using the Technics. That's a good idea. It's a good idea because his daughter needs a turntable that's easy to use, and that's a pretty easy to use turntable.
Yep.
What kind of turntable does Dusty's daughter have?
I don't know.
I think it's the LP 120, and she doesn't like it. It's too complicated. But I could be wrong.
She wants an LP 60.
Well, as I keep saying, get the LP Go. It's the exact same turntable, but it's $50 cheaper.
I got my LP 60 for $60 off of eBay new.
The LP 60 used to be $179. Now it's like $239. But the LP Go, which is the same turntable at Walmart, is $179. So get that. I recommend that one and not the LP 60.
Well, I'm lucky that I got my LP 60 for the cheap price that I got it for. She probably uses Crosley. I had a Crosley Cruiser for many years, and you know what? It was not the worst sounding turntable. But
mine's horrid sounding.
I bought it for like $70.
Okay, back. What'd you buy for $70?
A long time ago, when I first started collecting records in 2014, I bought a Crosley Cruiser.
Did it work? I don't know.
No. Let me explain before you guys jump to conclusions. Sherlock Holmes. It worked for a year and a half. It was great, but then it started to deteriorate. The sound started to get a little weird, and I just went and I put it in my closet, and then I gave it away to someone else, and they own it now.
Let me see. Michael Malone said, "I'm just getting back into vinyl. I just picked up the Audio Technica 1200 USB X bronze." Yeah, that's basically what these are. Yeah. I sprang for the extra $50 for the bronze. It was so pretty. She used to. LP60. Could have sworn pre-pandemic you could get one for under. You actually probably could have.
I paid $60.
I think they're a little more than that.
I paid $60 for my LP60.
But now, like I said, get LP Go. Get the LP Go, not the LP60. You'll save yourself $50.
First off, Hop Frog, let me answer your question about that, Hop Frog. I'm not trading my Ohio record for that LP 120. That is my pride and joy. He'll have to kill me and shoot me to get that record because that is my pride and joy. And he has Blurryface Live.
22 years untuned?
He has 2 copies of Blurryface Live. I offered to buy it off this witch, and he said, no, I don't want to sell it. So no. Ohio's thing.
That's all I hear.
I'm defending defending myself.
That's all I'm hearing. It's like
You can get one for $250 off of eBay.
get what for $250 now? I'm sorry. Now that
Ohio.
you calm down. Okay,
Ohio.
Okay. Okay, is that what we were talking about? We were talking about the 21 Pilots thing again?
Yes.
Are we going over this again?
Yes, because Dave brought it up. Dave said you could trade Ohio. That's why I said it. Dave brought it up. I didn't bring it up randomly. Dave was like, you could go and always trade Ohio record for it. They're trying to get reasons for me to trade it for the LP 120. I'm like, no. Don't give him idea. Don't give him ideas. I'm gonna put it in the safe. I'm gonna put.
You get that mustache. You need to grow that mustache. You go.
Ooh,
Speaking
where's-
of Dave, while I was down under my desk trading out plugs and stuff
Did I
for my
lose
turntable,
Ohio?
I did a rescue.
Just kidding.
You know, I
He's
still.
back. He was missing for a couple weeks, but he's back. I did a rescue. He's back.
Mine's noseless. I got to put his nose back on though. I did find the nose.
I
though.
lost my nose. My nose broke too, and I lost.
Yeah, I'm like.
But yeah.
Oh, I forgot. It's going into the summer. He's got to take his scarf off. You got to take his scarf off. It's hot. There you go. There you go. I'm like, buddy.
So.
Oh God, Lisa, stop. Lisa and her day. Oh goodness.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys.
Lisa and her freaking Ohio.
Well, you and your freaking blurry face live.
I have never pulled out my blurry face live. That sounds nasty. I've never pulled out my blurry face live here on stream.
Yeah, but you have two of them. I only have one Ohio. And
I have two balls. Do you want one of those too?
I thought his daughter had one.
Oh, what am I gonna do with you? I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to.
I want a ball. I want a ball. You got two of them. Give me one.
Why have one
No,
when you
that's
can have
close.
two? Why do I have one when you can have two?
He's all, there you go. He's all partridge. He's all, this is going to go in the wrong place. Let's go partridge family. There we go.
I had to stop myself before I got dirty.
I'm so happy that I could just reach out back here and be like, okay.
Oh, he said, no, she's playing piano. Some guy told her to retune her piano. Lisa thought he said return it. As an insult to her ability to play it. Let me see. Here's plan. Dusty, get her a mushroom hat. When she puts it on, pull it down over her eyes, grab and split.
You
She'll be
guys,
like,
no. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put Ohio in a safe, so you can't get it.
She went on a diatribe on how long she had it. I actually think I saw that. Yeah, I did.
No, because I thought you said return the piano, and I was like, I can't return it. We paid $3,000 for it.
So it went on and on. It was comedy gold. Oh, there you go.
The guy never came back to my stream, by the way.
I'm gonna guard my Ringo Change the World.
There you go. The guy tried correcting her, and Lisa wasn't having it. I know when you end up getting Lisa on when she's like, man, when she puts her boobs down, like we said, we put her nuts down. She puts her boobs down. It's like it's done. She's like, I'm not budging.
I thought he was saying return the piano, and then I read it and I apologized to him because I thought he was saying return the piano.
Frog said, just kidding, Lisa.
No. I thought the guy said return the piano, and when I reread it, I was like, oh, he said retune it, and I was like, I can't. We never retuned it.
Lisa's Italian side's coming out. She went. She froze. Okay, there you go.
I thought he said return the piano.
Now go like this. Now say, that's a spicy meatball.
We paid $3,000 for that piano. That's an expensive piano. Yep.
I mean, I don't know. I know absolutely nothing about pianos, but I was working with Caesar and we were doing this house. We were doing the drywall inside the house, and the lady tried to give me a piano, and it was just a stand up piano. It was in really good condition though, because she was like, trying to get rid of it, stuff like that, blah blah blah. And she said, if you want it, you can have it. I need to get rid of it. Blah, blah. And I was like, you're just gonna. It was bloody had money.
You
So
should
I
have
just
get
need to
it.
get rid of it. And I kept on saying, I was like, okay, I'm gonna come back for it. I'm gonna come back for it. I'm gonna come back for it. I never went back for it. I should have.
You should have.
But,
Upright pianos can get pretty pricey in price.
but I was like thinking, I was like, you know what? I don't really play the piano. I know I'm very minimalistic when it comes to the keyboard. And I was like going, none of my kids play a piano. And I was like going, oh, where am I going to put it? And then after that, I was like thinking, and then if I move, I'm going to have to move that shit. I'm like,
yeah.
Stuff like that. So
unfortunately, I had an Asian mom, and it was a requirement.
Straight up.
You gotta pay somebody to take your piano. You can't sell it. You gotta pay somebody.
Yeah.
To take.
You know what, Hop Frog?
I think every time they get moved, I think you have to tune them again, don't you? Every time they get moved, I think so.
You know, Hop Frog, I said that. I sure did. I told him you couldn't afford my Yamaha.
She straight up told the dude he could never afford piano because I think he's still in therapy.
I straight up said that because we paid $3,000. We paid $3,000 for that piano.
Fox guy's all, you saw it too.
I mean, Davey had a comical gold. He could have recorded that part.
Exactly, Fox guy. The thing is that freaking AGK got on all of us when he was still around our streams that we should delete our streams. We should delete our streams. And he was honest about it. And especially when he was on stream. And it's like, if you really think about it, he was like, we deleted so much good stuff when all he was doing was sitting up there in the corner playing video games, wasn't even participating. So I don't understand what he was so paranoid about, but he was just like, delete the stream.
Well, here's my thoughts on that. If you're paranoid about being on somebody's stream that they're going to show up, don't be on it. Exactly.
Don't be on it.
Exactly. Don't be on it.
Because we lost so much stuff. Now that I think about it, that I deleted it, I lost so much stuff. And Lisa still, it's like funny, Lisa still has the habit of like deleting it. It's like sometimes she'll end up doing something that's like really hilarious, and then the stream will be over, and I'll like try and go back to see it. And it says this video not available.
No,
like, God damn it, she deleted it.
No. My stream with the guy. I don't know if it's still up, but some of my piano streams are up.
I was about to say the piano streams you usually keep up. It's your panels that you don't keep up.
Because
me, I keep all my panels. I'm just like whatever.
I mean, Davey's gonna record them anyway, so it's not like I need to keep them up. I don't know
why people are so paranoid. I did a movie chat yesterday, and somebody asked about De Niro's comments, blah blah, in that thing, and Mayo answered, and he's like, "Okay, this stream's coming down." I'm like, "Here's an idea: ignore the question if you don't want to talk about it." I don't understand. It just bothers me.
I don't even remember what day that stream was, but
let's go ahead. It was the last one you had, this very last one.
No, it was like 2 weeks ago when I told that guy off. I think.
I could have sworn it was just this last one.
No. I don't know. I have a lot of piano streams. We don't want to watch me. I don't like watching myself. That's one thing I don't. I don't
okay,
like
you have your chat replay 2 up so we can see.
Oh.
Okay, hold on a moment. Let's see if it was this one. Let's go ahead and put it up.
I know I am weird in streams.
Oh, he said it was a couple of weeks ago. Okay.
Oh, we're gonna watch. Oh my god.
Who's that mushroom? Okay, there we go. Hold on a moment. Who that mushroom? Okay, let me see. You said it was a couple of weeks ago, so it was one of your lives. Poor Lisa. What is it, man? The thumbnails. I swear to God, the thumbnails. Like YouTube hates you in thumbnails, don't they?
Look at all those ugly ass thumbnails.
It's just getting like, but okay. So live, and you said 2 weeks ago. There you go. Maybe it was this one. It says exactly 2 weeks.
Wednesday.
Oh, there it goes. Yep, this is it. Yeah, you can see it in the corner.
We bought it from like a piano. Nana? No, I've not heard of the song Nana. Wait.
Did you already start talking to him already?
I'm not gonna return this piano.
Here we go.
Dude with homeless dude with long hair. Oh, sorry. Gotta turn on the lights, man.
Easy Mix already cracking up. Damn, you got out of breath playing? Damn, what are you doing? You're Jerry Lee Lewis?
I don't know.
First off, Brendan, I've had this piano for many years, Brendan. This piano is expensive, and you probably don't make that much in a month to be able to afford a piano like this.
Lisa!
I've had this piano since I was 11, 12 years old. My friend Paulina said she met David Grohl. I believe her. She would not lie about meeting David Grohl. She happened to be at Coachella, and she met David Grohl. Why would she lie about that?
I think he was just trying to be funny. At least he was
Paulina's
just like,
an honest person. I'll give you that about Paulina. She's an honest person that would not lie to you.
I said that.
Dang, you still bring her like.
Now,
Well,
first off, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna return this piano. This piano cost us a lot to begin with. It just needs to be tuned. We haven't gotten around to tuning this piano.
Lisa was all going fucking sling blade on that. I'm going to try to piano. I return this piano.
I don't know how to turn it off sometimes, Final Kick. I don't know how to turn it off sometimes. Sometimes
You mean tuning. You mean retuning. Oh, retuning. I can't read. It does. It does. I'm sorry for being snarky. Yeah.
Snarky?
We'll have to redo that.
Should be
eventually.
snarky.
Snarky.
Sorry, I didn't mean to snap.
Now you got me breathing. That's weird. I got breathing issues.
Dang, you must have been breathing heavy if the freaking telephone mic was picking it up.
Oh man, we don't want to hear me breathing.
Sorry, I read that wrong. I thought you said return. I apologize. I can't read this really small screen.
There's Fox Guy wrote, Brendan, she misunderstood your spelling as returned. Big laughy face.
Okay, we've seen enough of me, I think.
No, they said you kept on going, Lisa. This is funny. This is content.
I thought you said return. I thought you said return, man. I was like, I can't return this piano. We've had this piano for many years.
Ouch, Lisa, that hurt even way over here.
Rest assured, I understand what you mean now. We haven't tuned this piano in years.
She's like, this piano costs
And
more
I
than
get
your
it.
car.
It needs to be tuned. You're not the first person to tell me that, man. Definitely not the first
This piano costs more than your life.
Davey made a video.
Nana?
About that.
No, I've not heard of the song Nana. Wait. I think I might have heard it. I might have. Let me read.
Oh, brother.
Uh-oh, your mom's in the background. She's being angry.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome. Yeah, I totally read that wrong. I'm like sitting here like, oh my gosh. Did he say return? Because,
Lisa salary shamed that dude. Probably hung himself in the shower.
I like feel so bad.
Going up to take the piano away.
Yeah, it's been out of tune for a while. We have not tuned this piano in years. So I apologize.
Fear of the
because I've had this piano since I was in middle school. So this piano has been with us for a long time. We bought it from like a piano kind of, not liquidation place. We bought it from, what do you call those? A piano outlet. Yeah.
where they outlet the pianos.
I would like to get a keyboard eventually.
Yeah, that's the ticket.
Here, I want to kick set. I can't afford a $3,000 piano.
My
I'm
parents
sorry, I
had to
didn't mean
save
to be
up.
like snarky at people. I was just, I read it wrong, so.
At least it's
Like,
like, cost
every time
more than
I
your
apologize,
Camry.
No, my parents.
Please play out of tune.
I'm only snarky at people when I read things wrong. The rest of the time I'm fine.
I'm usually really nice.
Oh my God, my breathing, you can hear it.
There's a guy in a corner. He was high in the cars they passed by. He will never recover.
We're watching
He's on
me.
He's on the corner
Well,
where the
that's
sign
good,
says,
Paulina.
"We'll work for piano." Did you keep going after that, or was
In
that
years. Okay, this piano, taking piano lessons for 8 years, and I'm aware of the fact that my piano needs to be retuned. And when someone tells me, "Oh, I've had a piano all my life," so I know about piano. So do I. I just got fucking lazy about retuning my piano. I know you have to retune a piano so often. So very often. We haven't done it in years. Okay, this piano is out of tune. Out of tune like my life.
Oh my goodness.
Why are we watching this?
Okay, we can stop.
Well, the thing about it is I did apologize to him because I read it wrong, and I don't know, it's frustrating. I guess. I did read it wrong. I thought you told me to sell the piano. I was like, my parents didn't buy that piano in one. That my parents had saved up money for months for that piano. It wasn't like a purchase they just bought out of a whim. My parents had saved up for months to get that piano for us.
Says, why not get it returned though, Wood? Okay.
Okay, let me explain the story about the piano. So my parents had saved up for months for that piano because it was a big purchase. We don't normally spend $3,000 in 1 month. So my parents had saved up for months, and we got that piano when I was about 12 or 13. Because my sister also was taking piano lessons.
Mm-hmm.
She was about 5 or 7 at the time. So my parents bought us an upright piano because a grand piano was out of the question. It was super expensive. And that piano was the piano that me and my sister practiced on a lot when we did recitals. Because if you want to go and look up some of my recital videos, one day I'll put them up there for you guys. Me, 12-year-old Lisa playing a piano.
Your old recital videos. There you go.
I mean, my sister was way better than me at piano. Little 7-year-old Angela was showing me off.
Okay, but you pretty much play from ear though, so it's like you listen to a song, then you kind of interpret it, and then you play it.
Yep, always been that way.
Yeah,
since I was little, I've always been that way.
Which is, it's a gift to be able to do that. I mean,
I can hear a song and I can play it.
Yeah, like you were playing I think your last stream, I was watching you were playing the new Billy Joel song.
Yeah, I taught myself it. You can hear it. Someone's like, "How did you learn that?" I go, "Because I did. I was listening to it and I played it."
Uh-oh. What does Hot Frog have here?
But the thing about it is, I guess I get frustrated after a while. It's probably just part of my personality, but I get frustrated.
Okay, let me see if I can steal this real quick. Hold on a minute. See what this link is. That, without echoing.
People have told me that when I'm not thinking about jokes and I'm not even trying to be funny, that's when I'm funny. I'm not trying. Because that piano joke, oh my God, people were telling me about it. They're like, that poor kid.
Okay.
Who would have thought we could afford a piano? Who would have thought
The piano you've always wanted. Buy or rent from under $10 a week with lifetime guarantee. Free delivery, free lessons, and continued service. Schaefer & Sons, only at Colton Piano and Oregon Supermarts. 6 convenient locations.
Only at Coda.
If their pianos were so affordable, why were those poor people playing it outside? They didn't even have a smaller house to buy the piano, so now they're playing the piano outdoors.
I mean, you want to know? You want to know what's funny is I think my parents almost was gonna buy that piano, but they gave them a deal on the Yamaha, which is why my parents went with the Yamaha because my mom haggled with the guy. She's like, "What deal can you give me?" And the guy goes, "What?" She's like, I want the Asian discount." The guy goes, "We don't give Asian discounts." My mom goes, "Well, I'm walking out of the store." And the guy goes, Okay. I'll give you a discount on the piano." That's how we got it for the price we got it for.
Your mom was like, "Oh, okay, $2,000 50 egg roll. You give me." No. Okay, $2,000 100 egg rolls. You give me.
So the crazy thing about that is my sister played piano, but my brother just never got into instruments. So my parents just gave up with him because he just was not into piano.
Can you find the video where Lisa went outside and went off on Beatles fans?
Oh, that's in one of my piano streams I might have deleted.
Just, she went on for like 20 minutes. She didn't hold back. I know when she goes on one of those ones.
Yeah, that one. I was talking about how Beatles fans are, they only listen to Beatles. A lot of them.
But see, this is what's gotten you in trouble in the past, though, Lisa. It's gotten like Robert S. I used him as an example one time because one time he came in and you had made a comment. I forgot what it was. Something about like that. We were talking about something. You were like, I think you said something like Robert S. Like he didn't listen to that or something like that. And he was like, I don't just listen to Beatles. I don't just listen. He got offended, which, and now I look back on it. Yeah, I can understand why.
I apologize.
And he never came back. He never came back. He didn't talk, but
I apologize to him.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, Lisa, she can, when she ends up going on, when you're just kind of like, oh, come on, Lisa. Relax. It was boring. You still haven't gotten over the Apple 100? Neither have I, Ray. Neither have I.
Me and Paulina both kind of are huge Beatle fans. And
there you go.
Other things as well.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, Beatles fans can be super boring and annoying. Vinyl and Kicks, oh my goodness.
Not me.
Paulina's, dun, dun, dun.
Not me. I'm not boring or annoying.
He said can be. He didn't say.
Oh, can be. Okay.
Okay.
That's why the piano was in the driveway still. That's why the pianos was in the driveway still.
The reason why I started saving those piano streams because people were telling me they were enjoying it, and one of my piano streams actually got 1,500 views, and I deleted by accident. That was the one that really went off, and people were asking me, "Can you play Golden Hour?" And I still can't play Golden Hour.
We need to get one of these for your streams right here, Lisa.
This is the Disco Dance Machine. It's an electric record player with a microphone, but without the record.
Disco, disco, disco dance machine. Disco, disco, disco dance machine. Disco, disco, disco dance machine.
Disco fun for all. The Disco Dance Machine comes complete as shown. Record not included.
Not included.
Saturday Night Live has really gone downhill. Oh, wait, that was real?
That was Saturday Night Live during the pandemic.
It's a little joke there.
Yeah, I did talk about the kids.
Oh, God. Fake Renee Kerman's back. Goodness, goodness, goodness.
No.
Can someone block him, please?
Yeah, he needs to go.
I'm on it. Bye-bye, Renee.
Let me see here. The comment was further up, Dusty. Which comment?
Oh, he's hidden. Okay, good.
That's why the pianos was. Is that the one you're talking about right there? Okay, let's see. Lisa was like, if I feel like listening to the Kinks, don't come at me with the Beatles shit. Need a hug, Ray? Okay, let's see. If I want to listen to the Rolling Stones, I will. It's not a sin to listen to these groups. Yep, my Beatles comment wasn't directed at anyone in particular. I know Lisa feels me on that.
No, I think what he's basically saying is some Beatles fans, they make the Beatles their personality, and that's all they're all about. And they don't listen. They don't like. There's one person that I follow. I love her, Kristen Summer, but she's like heavily Beatles, and it's great. But I feel like I like
What's
the
up,
Beatles.
Dwayne?
I feel like I like the Beatles fans who also can branch outside of just the Beatles. Those are cool fans. So it's just the ones that are so into the Beatles that they can't see past the Beatles and they won't listen to anything else outside of the Beatles is kind of my issue right there. It's the ones that are just so up the Beatles.
Basically, in a world full of Kristen Summers, be an Abigail DeVoe.
Yeah, I mean, I love Kristen. Don't get me wrong. Kristen has a
Fall for it, Lisa. Don't fall for it. It's a trap.
let me just restate my thing. I love Kristen Summers. She has a great Instagram. She has a great channel. I love what I love about Kristen Summers. She also collects a lot of vintage stuff too, which is really cool. And I'm into vintage things.
Yeah, I think I know what Paulina's problem is with Abigail DeVoe is that sometimes she turns around and doesn't, I think, fully research her facts on some things. And I know that sometimes she ends up coming out with facts that are like not correct, and that like pisses Pauline off. But I think the thing though about her is that I don't think people are really going to like find out about the Beatles from her. They're going to look at her.
No.
Think.
The statement that I was making, unlike Kristen, who is like 100% Beatles, Abigail is the kind of person that listens to everything. So she's not Beatles centric. She's everything centric. She likes a lot of types of music. So that's the point I'm making. I'm not making the point of Abigail being someone who is poorly researched.
Oh, okay.
But you gotta admit that a lot of people who do watch her because they find her to be somewhat appealing.
Yeah.
That's everybody. That's everybody.
Well, nobody's watching this girl for that.
I said it was going to go in the den, but my
surprised. And appealing doesn't necessarily mean they think you're hot. It means that there's something about you that they like. Very few people, unless they're haters and trolls and things, watch people that they don't like. They watch people that they like. That's the nature of the game.
No, don't say that about her. I'm actually friends with her on Facebook, on Instagram and Facebook. She's a nice girl. We don't go that low. I mean,
it was going to go in the room, but the floor console TV took up too much room. Then again, the fondue pot was kept in the den.
I mean, I like you. I like you, Invisible Ray, but we don't go that low.
VCB's being created in this chat. Let me see here. I saw Stones, Steel Wheels, Voodoo Lounge, and Bridges to Babylon tours.
Here's what I like worse than anybody that this is all I listen to, blah blah blah. I hate people that refuse to dig even a little deep. You know what I mean? I'm running into more and more and more of them. You know that they wonder why their videos don't get any views, and all they do is show greatest hit CDs. There's a reason you're not getting any views, and you're not getting any views not just because you're showing greatest hit CDs, but you're really being shallow as far as music goes.
I think my music taste is pretty deep.
I'm really getting tired of these greatest hits people.
Hey, Black Quicksand.
More and more and more of them. I'm like, God.
I mean, I've always been a person that, always wanted to show my record collection and what I listen to, and I've always been a person that likes to, go past what I listen to and listen to stuff that normally people wouldn't listen to.
So I'm just trying to stay off Lisa's bad side.
I just didn't like Visible Ray's comment. That's all. I just thought,
well, let it go then, Lisa. You keep on bringing attention to it. Oh my God.
Keep on.
Here we go. It's like the piano tuning. We're going to be like going here for another half an hour.
Oh, Lisa. What are we going to do with you?
Well, I don't know. Start telling jokes, Lisa. How's that?
I can't. I'm not good at it.
Let's see. How about people who buy albums and just listen to the 2 singles off the album and say every other song sucks?
Well, that's it. Then give it if you really believe that, then okay, you really believe that, you're fine. But I don't think people are listening that believe that. You know what I mean? I don't know how you can put on. Let's talk about the Pat Sounds haters. How can you put on Pat Sounds and go, "There's 2 good songs in it, the rest of it suck"? You're not listening to it. You're not. They're bad albums. I'll be the first to admit that. But listen. Don't just go, okay, I know this song, and now I'm not going to pay attention to the rest of the album, and then go, oh, that sucks. I don't.
There's this other guy that I watch. He doesn't really like do live streams or anything like that. Never hangs around live streams. I think his name is James Witcher or Wichter? Wichter, maybe. I think I forgot how you pronounce his name.
Jeff.
Anyway, Jeff. Yeah, Jeff Wichter. I think he does these deep dives where he turns around. He like takes albums, and he's mostly like up the alley of what stuff I listen to, like 80s stuff, like New Order, stuff like that. But he'll take the album and he'll like go ahead and like go over the whole album, like he'll go over each song, so it's not like he's just like going to the greatest hits of and going over just that. It's like he goes over each individual song on that album and stuff like that. And sometimes he does where he does like a whole week and he'll go over the whole catalog of a band and go deep dive. He calls them his deep dives and stuff like that. Those are pretty good. Yeah. Let me see. You have it up my music right now. They don't give it a chance. A person don't care for anything Invisible Ray says. You guys gonna start going to each other. Here we go. Let me see. I like a lot of music, but I'm a Black Sabbath snob. Okay, Invisible Ray. Now you're just trying to invoke a reaction. Okay, all the songs on Pet Sounds terrible, but that's only because they were pre-Stamos. Yeah, Lisa, she says she is. Okay, well, Fox, I said she's a proud hillbilly.
Yeah.
Okay, well then maybe she said it. Maybe that's what Invisible Ray means. She said she's proud of who she is. What's the beef? Okay, well if that's what it is. Okay, then well, whatever. Then good for her. Then
I actually, in a way, I do find Southern accents to be kind of flattering too.
I wish I had.
Like there's this girl that I follow on Instagram. She's totally beautiful and amazing, and when I hear her speak, I'm like, oh, this is music to my ears. I like listen to this.
Okay, then I go ahead and I get what his voice saying. Christine's biggest seller is all about her hillbilly speak. She's proud of who she is.
Yeah.
What's the beef? So now I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. True Vinyl Kicks. I'm only here like a middle-aged lunch lady serving up the sloppy LOLs.
I like the breakfast pizzas. Those were my jam. Those breakfast pizzas.
I just want school pizza again. And I swear to God, I think I said it on one of the streams one time. I said I'm going to go to an actual school and I'm going to hang out. They're going to think I'm a pervert, probably get arrested or some shit. I'll be like, oh, hey, kid, bring me some pizza.
No, there's a recipe. There's
hey,
a recipe.
Bring me a pizza.
There's a recipe for it on somewhere. Someone posted a recipe for school pizza.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
I know it's not the same, but
it's got to be on that ugly yellow.
I always heard it was terrible, but I'm really old. I had a homeroom teacher that liked to wasn't fond of our cafeteria, and like if it was fish, they had to tell us what was being served for lunch. If it was a fish sandwich, he said, "Today for lunch we got carp on a bun." If it was pizza, today they're having ketchup on cardboard.
I used to think it was funny when they would turn around and say that we were having chipped beef, and all it was we used to call it shit on a shingle. It was just freaking ground beef and gravy over mashed potatoes. And I used to hate it, but there's always that one kid who freaking loved the shit. And everyone just used to go dump it all on his tray, and he'd have like a mountain of it. Like Close Encounter style. You'd have like a mountain of freaking this shit on a shingle. Let me see. Plainchicken.com, school cafeteria pizza. I know, but it's like, I just don't feel like it's the same if you don't have it with like your little chocolate milk and on your yellow tray.
Then go and buy a chocolate milk.
There you go.
They do come out. They do have Yoo-hoos in those boxes, so.
No, the kind we had in school was the Cutson's chocolate milk. That's what they served us.
Yeah.
And the Altadena. But I'm not a chocolate milk person. I always got white milk.
Me too.
Yep. I love the white milk.
I went to this Irish bar one time with my friend Noel.
Mhm.
Never been there before. And we walked, and when we got there, it started to pour, and it would not let up. We were just gonna have a drink and leave. We're there
Mhm.
for hours, and I'm starving. So finally, I asked the bartender if they're still serving food. He's like, "Let me look in the kitchen because it's like 11 o'clock, and the kitchen
Uh-huh.
usually is closed by then." So he's like, comes out and says, "Depends on what you want." And I look at the menu, and I'm just like, you got a hot dog platter? Can I?" And he's like, "Let me check." He comes back and like, yeah, you can get the hot dog platter, no problem. So I pay him, whatever. And
Uh-huh.
like 20 minutes later, however long it was, they come out with this fucking plate. There's gotta be a dozen hot dogs on it. I'm not kidding. And then another plate that was just full of beans.
I mean, hot dog.
They gave me everything that they had left.
They just like an amalgamation of food, whatever's there.
They're all laughing like, "We want you to finish this." And I'm just like, "What the hell?" They've never been to the place. You know, they don't know me from Adam. They knew Noel, my friend that I went with.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, "What the hell, man? This thing was stacked up like a pyramid."
No, it's on the house.
I mean, hot
Well,
frog.
free sounds good. Free
Hot frog.
30 free. I like that. That's tasty.
I mean, he does look like a lunch lady, hot frog.
I know. Maybe I should. I should volunteer as a lunch aide, and then like as soon as I get my pizza, I'll be like, I quit. Or I'll just show up on days when they have pizza.
How about the tacos?
But you know, nowadays it's like they don't even. I mean, they don't even give kids like chocolate milk like they used to give us, where it would be in a little cardboard container. Now they give it to them in a bag.
Yep.
You know, it's just like,
They're Canadian, you guys or whatever.
I remember how bored we were when we went to see Close Encounters. We were promised the new Star Wars with aliens. Yes. You know what I really remember is more than Close Encounters. I remember going to see Star Trek, the motion picture, which, of course, now that I'm older, I still am not into it. It's like everything from 2 on I'm into, but
Everybody in line was going to see the Star Trek movies got a pillow with them.
Yeah. When I went to go see the first one, my mother was like, so, you know, because we had just gone to see Star Wars. My mom thought that everything was going to be like Star Wars. So she was like, oh, we got to go see Star Trek. This is going to be awesome, blah, blah, blah. You know, so we were all hyped over Star Wars. We go to see Star Trek, and we're like asleep after the first half hour.
And the thing is, when and it's whatever anniversary it was after it came out on DVD, they released the expanded version. It's like, what the hell? 45 more minutes of special effects. Oh my god!
They thought Tim with Joey Chestnut. There you go.
Wait a minute, that's true. That's true, Dwayne. They actually come out with bagged milk.
Yeah, the bag milk. That's what they give them now. It's like a bag of milk, and they just stick their straw in it and they drink it.
Well,
they don't put it in those little cardboard things.
No,
all you can get
in
is a bag of
Canada,
milk.
in Canada they sell bag of milk. Out here we have.
How does
the-
that look like? I never seen that before or heard about that.
Oh, you want me to look
In
it
Mexico, that's how they drink Coke. I think they drink Coca-Cola that way too, like soda and Pepsi and stuff. I think they sell them. They don't always sell them in bags, but they do sell them in bags too. So that's like it's a very like Mexican thing.
Here's an article for you guys to read about why.
You know, Ray, the black hole. I really did not like the movie that much. I watched it a couple times. I was more into the toys than I was into the freaking movie because I remember I had all the black hole toys, the action figures and stuff. Condor Man. Who is Richard Tandy and why did he die? I have no idea.
I know who he is. He died cancer, I think.
Is it like how you got a goldfish at a fair?
My school used to do these multicultural fairs, and I won a goldfish, and my goldfish died after 3 days, and then next year I went and got another goldfish. So I've had 3 goldfishes that died when I was in elementary school, all named Goldie.
Baby reindeer is causing much distress in the UK. Is the conflict still going on over there?
Yeah,
here in the United States, we've it's kind of leveled out for us. You know, I mean, when it first hit our shores and we saw it, I mean, we kind of got into and stuff, but it's kind of died out over here, I think. But
Yeah.
that was crazy, though. Did you watch that, Paulina?
Yeah, it's a crazy movie.
No.
Or Tim? Or well, Tim will be right back.
I watched it.
It's his show. You know, I forgot what the name of the comic was, but he was a comic, and he wrote, actually, it was basically based, it's a true story based on what he went through with this woman. And he said, yes, the real woman has done a car crash interview with Pierce Moore. Oh, yeah, that freaking interview was freaking disastrous. She told so many lies. I mean, it was so obvious with her body language. She was lying all through the fucking thing. Well, anyway, she was a crazy stalker. And she started stalking this guy, and it's his whole story of how she stalked him. And he found out all this stuff about her, how she had stalked other people in the past. And she's just fucking nuts off her rocker and stuff. But it's a true story. So what happened was she had changed the name, changed all kinds of things about the character. You know, he figured he had changed enough where they would not discover who it was. Well, they turned around and they figured out who it was. And they came out with her name and all this stuff. Basically, she got doxxed. And she went on Pierce Morgan to explain her side of it. And when she explained her side of it, she was lying through her teeth.
Yeah, you could tell.
And people could tell. And Pierce Morgan was like not letting her have it. Because Pierce Morgan, he's a motherfucker when he starts freaking like really grilling someone. Mm-hmm. And he was grilling her. And she was just like, you know, she would contradict herself. Like she'd be like, I have a photographic memory. I have a photographic memory. I remember everything. It's a photographic memory. And they'd be like, well, do you remember this and this about? No, I don't quite recall. I don't remember anything. You know, she was like totally contradicting herself all through the interview. You know, it was crazy. You know, and Pierce Morgan was picking up on all of it because he's fucking slick as shit. You know, when he's interviewing someone, because he'll sit there and he'll let you talk yourself into a corner. You know, but the series was it was kind of like that. It was a Netflix series, and I think it was like a series of like 6 episodes or something, which actually kind of reminded me of a British. You know, a British like series, because I think in Britain it's not like they don't do it over there like us, where we end up doing a series where it's like we could go for like 6 years, you know, on a series.
We call it season. We call it seasons out here.
Yeah,
right? They call it series.
Yeah, series. They'll do a show and it'll be like 5 episodes and that's it. You know,
well,
it's like story over.
With UK shows, they'll do it for like 6 or 5 episodes, and usually like an hour.
When they do, 10 is the most usually, and if they have 2 a year, they're both series. It's not like we have, you know, like one season might be split into 2 and 2 13 week, you know, but it's still a season. Over there, no, it's a series. So like Top Gear lasted in the UK like 22 series, I think. Yeah. But it was only on like 14 or 15. You know what I'm saying? A lot of years had 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She totally lied saying she never saw the series. She saw it all because she was trying to sue and everything else.
Yeah.
How can you sue, you know, about something you've never seen? Yeah. You know, and she said, it painted me in a bad light. It painted me in this and that. Well, you've never seen it. So how do you know how it painted you? You know, it's like she was just like lying through her fucking teeth. So Baby Reindeer isn't a family-friendly nature show. Is that what you're saying? No, it's not.
No.
And they went back and they found all of her Twitter messages and all these different like messages she had left about, because her code word for sex was she needed to have her curtains hung, or she needed her curtains needed tending to, which she meant her beef curtains.
Yeah.
Nasty. You know, she's like, oh, my curtains need tending to. You know, you're going to tend to my curtains. But, you know, at the beginning, he was playing with her. You know, so at the beginning, he kind of like, you know, drew her in, but then he was like, no, didn't want, you know, and that's when she went into stalker mode, you know.
I mean, don't play with people's emotions.
Well, yeah. But, you know, but he was pretty fucked up in the head himself, though. I mean, he had a lot of, like, issues of his own.
They both are fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, he had a lot of issues of his own, a lot of stuff that he had gone through and stuff like that, you know, and, you know.
Good to know.
Look what I started. Look what I started. Ma, look what I started. I love me some meat curtains. You know, it's just like,
yeah.
Like, what was that? I was watching that one, like, I think I showed you guys the softball game where the guy is supposedly supposed to be like commentary being done by 2 sports commentators. And like the chick is like pitching the softball and she pitches it full speed and like hits the dirt and hits the chick right in the crotch.
Yeah.
And he goes, ooh, that's right in the roast beef sandwich. She's not going to recover from that one. That was funny though. Oh, and she takes it right to the roast beef sandwich. She's
Martin,
not going to recover from that one.
You always coming in the right time.
Yeah, Martin. I've tuned in. The first words I hear are my meat curtains. Well, that's a Dusty stream.
Yeah.
His words all beef curtains.
Beef curtains, yeah.
I'll show you issues. Well, I'm sure we could all show each other issues if we really got down to it. I mean, what you see on YouTube isn't our full issues. You know?
Yeah.
We're on YouTube. We've all got issues.
Yeah.
Everybody's got issues.
Just kidding. But yeah. But anyways, guys, unfortunately, I got to go because I got to go pick up, I got to go pick up the poop head. So, I got to go do my...
But you love her. The poop head. What? Why is everybody looking at me? I'm never gonna buy that album.
Right, here we go again. But anyways, I will see everybody later. Talk to everybody later because I'm gonna go ahead and go. I gotta make like a plant and leave. So bye everybody. Thanks for being here though, guys. I'll talk to everybody later.
Make like a plant and leave.
I'm gonna make like a plant and leave.
That is so great. Yeah.
That is so great. Ellen Alda.
Yeah.
That's great. I like what
you got something. You got something in your background. Is that the cat?
People think that he was.
Oh yeah.
But it was like.
Hi cat.
Forced perspective when it came to him.
Too bad you don't have a gif of Bill Hader doing Eldon Alda.
The other cat is he's really pissed off right now. He keeps on trying to go outside, but it's too late. It's 11 o'clock. He's not going out. So he does this thing where he jumps behind the record shelf back there. And then he has a spike collar. So he goes ahead and he starts banging against the window. And he thinks if he does it long enough, he's going to piss me off. I'm going to go ahead and let him out for a little bit. But usually what I do is I just go ahead and I wait him out, and then finally he gets tired and he goes over, and then he goes to his bed and he goes to sleep. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. Mm-hmm. So there you go. But anyways, yeah, being a cat daddy has been a whole new adventure, I tell you. So anyways, bye guys, bye Violent Kicks, bye Hop Frog, bye Invisible Ray, bye Trish, bye Martin, bye Charlie, bye Dave. Bye. Later, everybody, bye Tim, bye Paulina, bye Lisa, you fucking troublemaker. All right, then I'll talk to everybody later. Bye. Bye.